The token looks like it's got
This meeting is being
a
recorded.
blunt
yeah.
face.
You did come across her in the morning going through her kata with her eyes closed.
Ah, okay.
And then she greeted you all by saying, "You are dying," in Sylvan.
Yep.
Oh, well, I hope we're not dying.
Yeah, but I mean, in
Well,
the immortal words of Dream Theater, every day since future past, every breath leaves me one less till my last.
in the immortal words of Cake, the moment you're born, you start dying.
So,
on that bombshell,
on that
us off.
note, right? Oh, let's play some D&D. All right. So previously on Lost, the Lamplighters, fresh from having recovered a cauldron of plenty, returning from the Cauldron Caves to the little town of East Haven, along the way encountered a mysterious young lady wearing a dress and carrying a parasol, who rendered most of you unconscious, except for Sandalphon, and they had not a whole lot of memory about the conversation, but seemed to think it was okay. You returned to East Haven. You did not mention the Cauldron of Plenty to anyone. In fact, you kind of snuck it in. And that evening, Bellatax was able to put to use her good training that she received from Pradyaga on haggling and price, and got a good reward for the party for finding out information about the missing fisher folk. That night, or early the next morning, Pradyaga was awakened by his sister Finra, and she had some things to say about the cauldron. And then Tree reported out, and then the rest of the Lamplighters gathered that morning and decided, instead of turning the cauldron over to Finra and her, Frost Druid support group, or potentially causing conflict within the 10 towns, decided to bury the Cauldron of Plenty. That was done by Iggy, although I'm not sure she knows about it or not. But anyway, you encountered a couple of what looked like a group of people from the Frost Druids camp out on patrol as you set out from East Haven, going west near the Red Waters, maybe. Where's my map? Anyway. So, yes, near the Red Waters, looking for a spire of a tower that Dazan, the Wizard of Thay, that you saw meet a very combustible ending on your initial entry into East Haven, said that he had found and was trying to, or he was trying to have adventurers find this tower. So you set out looking for it. And then the next morning, or that night, Darkness came and had a conversation with Pradyaga, asked him to accompany him on a mission of great import, and Pradyaga chose to fully joined the Wolfkin and basically woke a member of the party up and said, "Yeah, I'm out. See ya." And then wolfed out, and he and Darkness scampered off into the darkness. Into the dark. Yeah.
Did Darkness pay half up front?
No. This seems to be one exclusion to that rule.
All right. Well, then we're gonna have a talk when Bro Yaga finds his way back to the party.
Right. So that morning there was a discussion about the missing lamplighter who decided to undertake that mission. As you were searching, with beginning your search pattern the next day for the tower, you encountered I'm going to mispronounce this name. Chon Ale?
Con Il Falcha, but just call me Connie. It's easier.
Con Il Falche, aka Connie, who was doing what appeared to be some sort of military kata or calisthenics practicing with their eyes closed. This is very odd. You guys had a conversation, and the conversation went kind of like this. "Hey, do you guys like killing frost druids?" And you were like, yeah, we do. And she was like, "Cool, I'm into killing frost druids too." And they're like, "Yeah, awesome." And she was like, "Well, have you killed any frost druids today?" And you're like, "No." And then she said, "Well, what are you doing with your lives?" And so she decided, since she had witnessed the fight the previous day, where you handily dispatched a group of frost druids and members of that organization, feeling like her chances were pretty good about encountering some more frost druids for her to murder. Outcome was favorable in that Magic 8 Ball. So she decided to kind of go with you guys, and you wandered around and you found what appears to be, not really appears to be, but what is a spire from a ancient city, one of the flying cities from the totally not Age of Arcanum, totally not the Age of Arcanum, that had crashed into the ground in an upside down manner. You found an entrance to this tunnel that had been dug through the snow. You were able to enter into this upside down spire, presented with a very odd architecture, in that everything is literally upside down. You are walking on the ceilings. You find some tunnels, or some holes basically in the ceilings that lead you further. You were able to descend further down into what would be the upper levels of this spire. Not really. You found a few things on your way down, but when you arrived on what would be considered the third level, you encountered a simulacrum of Dazan, the person you saw immolated in East Haven, and his undead companion, which is a thing that they tend to have. They have not been violent. He's actually been very friendly and very accommodating. He doesn't appear to be hiding anything. And he told you that there is a chamber in the floor below that would allow him to become real, because as it is now, he is a creature of snow and shadow, given the appearance of Dazan. He is a simulacrum and not he's not a real boy. He has concluded that the chamber, which was apparently in use by a group of people whom built this spire that obviously have a much deeper and wider breadth and scope of knowledge about the arcane than currently exists today. And he believes that there is a device, a room that will allow him to become real. He said it requires a spark of life to give life from an illusory creature to bring it to actual life and existence. And when questioned, he made it very clear that it doesn't mean like draining the life away. It just means something living has to touch the illusionary thing for it to become real. And he was very hopeful that one of you would help him out. He does not know what happened to Dazan, and he has a certain, he does have Dazan's memories up to a certain point. And he says, one last thing. And he looks at you, Dalen, and he says, if you will help me, I have a copy of one of Dazan's spell books that I would let you copy if you will help me.
So in helping you, we would need to help provide a spark of life to give life.
Just it's called, he says, well, he says the spark of life is what it says in the text, but reading the descriptions about what it actually does, it only requires the presence of something alive. It's kind of like
Thaumaturgy. It's like produces like. It just needs a template to work from.
Basically, it is breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Imagine like jump starting a battery, like jump starting a car, basically.
Got it.
Right. And so I was trying to think of
that's a great analogy. It's a great analogy.
right, except what's a car and what's a jump start. But yeah, that's basically trying to put it in terms the player would understand, because I am failing to give a good fantasy analogy.
I like it. I'm good. Can I look at the text? Can I examine these instructions?
Yes, you can. He said, however, the instructions are in a, he says, you would, based on its appearance, it looks like a shrine, but it is a shrine of magic, not of divinity. And it says, I do have this, and he kind of rummages around behind the sort of makeshift desk, opens a bag, and he pulls out a book and he hands it to you. And the title of the tome is From Shadow, Substance.
Okay.
If you wish to peruse it, give me an Arcana check.
All right. Hang on. Let me open up Roll20 real quick. I don't know what this is gonna do. I'm on a different computer. I'm in a
I'm-
different.
I'm pretty sure he wishes to peruse it. I'm just gonna guess.
Yeah. $18.
18.
Nice.
Very good. So with an 18, and again, you're not like trying to read the entire
Correct. Yeah, I'm skimming.
book. It's a pretty
Yeah.
big book. This is written by several Netherese wizards, most of them working in the School of Illusion, on ways to use the weave to make an illusory object real. And it describes a shrine like room and different ways. This thing will also turn illusory objects into real ones, and it can turn illusory beings into living beings, make them real. And some of it, even with an 18, like the description, like you get the gist of it.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
I
like,
get
okay.
theory.
Okay, I see. Sure, use
If I
the
turn
weave.
the key and the engine starts. Got
Yes,
it. I
turn
don't know
the
how
key
the
and the
engine
engine
works
starts.
yet. Yeah.
But in terms of like the advanced arcane math and theory behind this,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't figure it out. I'm just saying
No.
it would take you a while to duplicate it, providing the material were available or you could manufacture it. This book is quite old. And like I said, it is definitely of Netherese origin.
I relay what I kind of read and kind of understood, and make it very clear that I have no true comprehension of how this mechanism would work or how it would do what it's going to do. But I do believe I understand what the intent. And is it like reading an instruction manual, or is it reading like a journal where someone believes that they actually successfully did it?
Somewhere in between. It's
Okay.
not a manual so much as it is almost like a historical discussion and commentary on what they did.
So, Dasan, I can call you Dasan, right, Sugar?
Your
not?
Beaumont's showing.
Is he not talking to me?
Joe.
Yes.
He was
I
talking.
just addressed Dasan. Is he not responding in any way?
I am so sorry. I was looking at the other screen. Yes, please restate the question in the form of a question.
Mhm.
Okay, what I said was, Dasan, may I call you Dasan? Sugar?
That is my name. Yes.
So if we do this, we bring you back with this mojo here. What happens to Dasan's soul exactly?
I am a copy of him. I myself do not have a soul. I am merely a being of snow and shadow, given form, shape, and function.
Right, but if we do this little ritual you want done, will Dasan's soul then be back in his body? Or your body or a body?
No, I do not believe so. It is not a
So-
kind of, it is not a kind of resurrection or necromancy.
So his soul will still be lost to the gods.
Did you guys tell him what happened to this?
I don't believe we have.
Well, I
don't
mean,
believe-
I'm assuming that if we're talking about this at all, Dasan's dead. I don't necessarily know if I know the details. I am just inferring that if we're going to be resurrecting a clone or enacting a clone, it means the original's dead.
He said, it is, he said, now, giving a simulacrum life is not a thing that has been done, to my knowledge, in recent history. No one has known or attempted to do this, at least certainly not any of Dazan's peerage. Perhaps it has been done recently, perhaps it has been done in other places. While it will make me real and it will give me memory, and it will make me breathe and eat and sleep and everything else living beings do. And while I will have Dazan's memory up to a certain point, I will not truly be Dazan.
Yeah. All right, then. Doesn't sound like I got a dog in this hunt. I'm going to go back to my knitting. You folks let me know when you need me.
And to this point, slight recon, the shrine is not on the next floor. It's actually in the adjacent room.
Ah.
If we were to help you,
Mm-hmm.
what would this process look like?
He said, well,
I mean, I will tell you from reading through this text, browsing this text, I do not feel in any way up to the task of performing any kind of complex magic ritual.
oh no. The shrine does all the work.
So something living stands on plate A, you stand on plate B, and we push the big red button, or how does what initiates what powers the process?
The shrine itself.
So is the shrine itself semi-intelligent or just set up to operate on certain stimuli?
You know what? I'm a terrible person.
Yeah, well,
Well, I mean, so he said, in the room adjacent, there is the shrine. This is what happens when I don't read something for a couple months. The actual runic chamber that does the conversion is immediately underneath this room in the floor below. This is and that is,
Which would be above because it's upside down, or it's below because it would normally be above.
it
and it's
is
upside down.
it is relatively below.
Okay.
And he says there is
It's a weird noise.
Oh, bummer. Okay. So Dazan kind of looks up for a second and he says, there is one more thing in the interest of full disclosure. In the room next to the rune chamber where I can become a living thing, there is a large reptile.
Is it alive?
Yes. Very
Is it? Does it act normally, or are we talking about a reptile dysfunction?
Oh my God, get out.
Is the reptile friendly?
no, it is not.
Who would invite an
I
unfriendly
myself am not
reptile?
familiar with it, but it has and he goes, 8 legs.
That is not a reptile.
Do I know of any 8-legged reptiles in my vast +0 nature knowledge?
Good time for Brad Yaga to be here right now.
Right,
Oh.
Rod would be like, oh yeah, let me tell you about that thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, anybody that wants to can make a nature roll. I think the only person that might stand a real chance of knowing what it is Siston.
Yeah,
I
I got
rolled
a
a
13.
1. I rolled a nat 1.
Yeah.
Nice.
You don't think it's a
Thanks.
reptile. You think it's a bunny rabbit.
I think it's a bug. I think it's a spider.
No, I'm 15.
Varuuk, are you going to are you going to take a swing at it?
Nope.
No,
Fruit's like,
nah. Lizard, 8 legs, me killed.
it's not, it's, if it's not friendly, it's dead.
All right, Crosis, you have you think you know what it is, and Siston, you both kind of have a brief little discussion, and you come to the conclusion that this is most likely, unless it's something, weird Icewind Dale spawned horror, it is more than likely a basilisk.
Yee.
Mm. Now, how much does Crosis know about basilisks is the next question.
Well,
Only
you're
what he
both
likes is
aware
there.
of the folklore surrounding basilisks, and that is if you kind of lock eyes with the creature, it has a chance, maybe not necessarily a good one, but it does have a chance of turning things to stone.
I do not believe this is your garden variety reptile. What you described sounds like a basilisk. Troubling indeed.
What's a basilisk do?
Don't look at it in the eyes.
I
It
never
might
look at
turn you to
anything in
stone.
the eye. I never look at anything in the eyes when I kill it.
Crosis, you and Siston are also pretty confident that provided no one gets turned to stone, provided, if no one gets turned to stone, the Lamplighters would be able to easily defeat said creature.
I
As you can
feel
turn-
like like sometimes you have canine companion whose bark worse than bite. Basilisk can sometimes be similar, but the gaze is definitely worse than the bite. Do not look it in the eyes, or let it look you in the eyes at the same time you look at it in the eyes. Not too sure exactly how it works.
Well,
But,
how well lit is its chamber? I mean, we could just turn off the lights and beat the shit out of it.
It's no more or no. Remember, every chamber in this place is lit with never-ending torches. Magic torches. This is concept. So it's, I mean, considering the size of the room, it's actually better lit inside this fully enclosed underground spire than it is outside. It's
That's
not bright
funny.
light. It's not bright light by any means, but you know, light does exist in every room.
So before we try to attempt any of the magical ritual, we will likely have to take care of this denizen first.
Well, that would be up to you. It is behind a closed door.
I have a question. If it is behind a closed door, do we know what or why it's there, and from where did it come?
Well, clearly is there to guard the altar.
Where did it come from? Where did it go?
Not joke.
No.
I don't think that's
No, that's exactly where I was.
Oh.
gonna go.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's
Uh,
can you get negative inspiration?
Yep.
Make somebody roll a D8 and subtract that number from a roll.
If y'all can find a way to put out these damn lights, I will kill it for you.
Anyone with a passive perception more than 16?
That's me.
Anyone else?
Negative.
Let me check mine. Yes.
I think System does.
Yeah.
Those of you with a passive perception greater than 16 hear the faint sound of wood splintering. And it sounds as though it's coming from the gaping hole in the floor behind you.
yikes.
Towards the area of the room with the lizard in it.
Yeah.
Question. How many torches of everlasting light are there in this room that we are in?
Like one or two, maybe.
Okay. I actually need to know if there's more than one. Because I'm going to try to control flames and extinguish it. And I'd like to keep some light on if there is.
These are magical flames.
Yeah, control flames isn't going to help you there.
Cool.
Good idea, though.
Oh, you can choose non-magical flame. Sorry, I didn't even read the first sentence. I just read all the things it does. Cool. That makes sense. I
was
cannot
the-
control these flames. Do not know why. This never
It's
happens.
like, I can do this. I can do
What
this.
was
I have it.
sentence?
Really,
I don't
really,
know.
I got this.
This doesn't normally happen to me.
I put up my knitting and pull out my axes.
Yeah.
And there's like a hole down to the room where this is happening.
Right here. And those of you who heard the sound of wood splintering
Which
now,
is one person.
right
Two. System
Two.
heard it.
Oh, system. Okay.
now,
What is it?
looking
What do you
down,
hear?
looking down into the pit.
I think the
You
decision's about to
see-
be made for
You
us.
see an approaching reptilian thing reaching up on its hind two legs to pull itself up through the hole. Roll some initiative. Let's have it.
I see nothing. My eyes are closed.
Very good. The initiative. Let me get that tracker. Initiative tracker.
Yeah, you should,
The
Siston, you should click on your on your
Where
dude.
is the
Yeah.
Pool of Darkness? Wow, that's cool. That's not the initiative tracker. Where is it? That there we go. Turn order. All right.
Now I can click and
And after watching
Roll
that
initiative.
combat last night, I'm actually kind of into it. Remember, shoot the fucking tree.
Get it in the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
anyone have any Phoenix familiars?
Don't.
I hear they're really good at getting basilisk guys.
Go for the eyes, boom. Sorry.
Yes.
He thinks he's a
Go for
star.
the eyes
We
boot,
actually rolled-
100%.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, that's there we
Pardon me.
go. All right. That's a
Speaking of Boo, they made Minx and Boo into a magic card, and it's actually one of the best magic cards right now.
Oh, wow.
Go for the eyes, boom.
okie dokie. So climbing up from the hole, see two reptilian clawed feet hit on either side of the stone, and you hear the straining sound or whatever sound lizards make as it's pulling itself up through the hole. However,
I didn't realize
You should
basilisks have legs,
probably-
though.
You should probably order. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
yeah. So, now I'm going to move you right there. Since if you were there, you would be in the hole. which
We're
you
also
cannot
level
be.
5 too, right? Like
I was
we're all-
trying to jump down the hole, but
Right.
apparently
Well,
the
you
basilisk
if
is
you had
quicker
jumped
than
down the
that.
hole, you would have jumped into the jaws of the waiting jaws of the basilisk.
So you
That's
probably
fine.
would have reconsidered.
Yeah, you probably would have looked down and be like, "Oh, nope, not looking. Nope, nope." Oh well, your eyes are closed.
I'm not looking. My eyes
Right.
are closed.
Okay, so here we are, Basil, and Varuuk. You're up. Siston, you're next.
Awesome.
Dalen, you are third. This basilisk isn't even going to get to swing.
What? How tall is this room?
Oh, huh? This room? Hold on. Hold on.
How tall is it from the ceiling to the floor?
Right. So, how far away are you? Varuuk,
Everyone's within
where
30
were you?
feet.
Yeah, you're all within 30 feet. So, Varuuk, before you do anything, make a Constitution saving throw, which you will just
Dominate unless he fails miserably.
You'll
yeah.
either win it or lose it.
Oh,
So, Varuuk,
that's not my.
you've stared things down. You stared down an undead giant, and this lizard locks its eyes with you, and you look at the lizard and you raise one eyebrow, and the lizard looks away from you.
I mean,
Yeah, that was a misclick, by the way. My I actually have a +6 or no +8 to that right now. So
Oh yeah. Well,
Lol.
you're
24.
yeah, this poor basilisk. So the I want to say it's 12 feet. I do believe it is yes, all rooms and passageways are in fact 12 feet high.
Okay. I'm gonna grab him by the tail.
His
And
tail is 12 feet down.
well, I'm gonna fucking grab him out of that hole and yank him out of that hole then.
All right, let's have a grapple.
Get out of that hole.
All right. Why is my thing not doing the thing like it normally does? Huh.
Select.
Well, normally,
23.
4. You reach out and you wrap your hands around the neck of the really big freaking lizard. Really, 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 really big. You would, I mean, not really necessarily big to you, but it is this horrific monstrosity that had the audacity to meet your gaze, and you wrap your hands around its throat and you're like, and you have to, do you have 5 feet of movement left?
I have 15. I'm gonna pull him all the way back over to where I'm at now.
Okie doke. All right. So yeah, you yank the basilisk all the way out of the hall, and this thing has 8 legs. You would think it would be able to scrap and scrabble, and find some hole that it can do. Yeah, no, you just drag it bodily across the room with you. And you're like, got it in a chokehold. But is that all your turn? You got more stuff?
My bonus action was to do Frost Rune, and that was my action to grab him and grapple.
Grapple is an attack, it's not a full action. So since you have extra attack, you can punch it or headbutt it.
I'll punch him
stab
while
it.
I'm in a headlock.
You'll what?
I'll punch him while I have him in a headlock.
Do it.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1, so you're like, and your fist connects with his, hard reptile skin. Just doesn't seem to land a good solid blow. I mean, he's struggling and twisting around and lashing around, looking around the room. Siston, you are up, and yep. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Okay. 13.
You, having heard the warning from the simulacrum, you know better than to like take too long looking at where this thing might lock its gaze with you. So you do not feel yourself turning to stone or anything. So you feel pretty confident that you have avoided that particular danger. Proceed.
I take a moment and say a word and launch a guiding bolt.
Guiding bolt. That definitely hits. And that is 21 points of radiant damage. If that is correct. Is that correct?
That
Yeah,
is
wow.
correct.
All righty.
And advantage on the next.
It is well illuminated. The guiding bolt fires across the room, slams into the flesh of this reptile. And Varuuk, you have to tighten your grip on his neck because he's like really thrashes, because that really hurt. Like a lot. Like, damn it. Why do you hate lizards?
All right. I'll take that opportunity to move a little bit so other people can have a better better viewing, better way of lining up on the basilisk. And that is my turn.
All righty, Dalen.
I peer around like the side of my cloak. Does this thing look like it could even be looking towards me? How dangerous do I think it is to even for that thing to make eye contact with me? Is it even trying since it's being held by another creature?
Well, it is, but you are within 30 feet of it, and from a mechanical perspective, if you can see it, it can see you. It is not a bug bladder beast of trawl. And so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
So, quick question: if I just said I kept my eyes closed this entire time, would I have to make a Constitution saving throw?
No,
Okay, good to know.
but if you open your eyes at any point during your turn or after it, you will.
Facing it or away from it?
I mean, if you can like solidly turn away from it, I suppose.
25 feet away from it. I'm assuming I can, but I said I peered at it past my cloak. So for this point, I'm making a.
Do you
Dun, dun, dun.
you have advantage?
I do not,
Mm.
but I do have inspiration.
Well, then you should probably fire that off.
Got it. Drummer Hoff. 1d6, right?
Yes. Well, you feel your eyes connect for just a brief second with this monstrosity, and you actually for a second you feel yourself kind of stiffen up, almost like a paralysis. But you're able to rip your eyes away just in time and
Well, then-
avoid any dire effects.
Gauging where they are, I'm going to cast a web over it, so because it obscures the area, so maybe that way it can't actually make a eye contact with anybody because web lightly obscures, and I'm just going to cover this area here. Well, here, let me draw this area like right here in web.
Okay, you can definitely do that.
And web, the webs are difficult terrain and are lightly obscure the area. So hopefully it will make it much harder for somebody to make eye contact with that thing. And hopefully, if it fails its dex check, it's having a tougher time fighting against Varuuk.
Well, let's find out, shall we? Does a 19? Wow. I got a 20. This thing has a -1 dexterity.
How did you get a 20 with a -1?
I rolled a 20 and -1 got a 19.
Oh, okay.
Womp womp.
Yep. So his dexterity is a 19, which means he has. Let's see. What does that mean? He is not. I mean, he's already grappled.
Yeah, he's still in the area. He'll have to make the roll again unless he gets away from Varuuk this time around. I'm more concerned about it obscuring the area so he can't make eye contact with anybody.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's how gaze attacks work.
How do gaze attacks work?
You would have to heavily obscure to prevent a gaze attack.
Yeah. But
Like as long as sight exists between the gazer and the gazee, shit happens.
I will
Okay.
I will, however, assign a bonus to the saving throw.
Okay, that works.
So that'll make it a little easier. Anything else? Oh, web slinger.
I definitely turn away.
You turn away. All righty. Connie, you're up, and then the basilisk, if it survives, we'll get to do a thing.
Yeah, it might get to do a thing. Well, I will somersault over this hole, apparently straight into a web, and make my dexterity saving throw.
Yep.
Well, that would have been really nice for a attack roll, but you know.
Well, and you have advantage on the attack roll. because
I
that,
do. I have advantage on the first one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Although my eyes are closed.
True.
Absolutely, completely closed. Fuck looking at shit.
Right.
yeah, I mean,
But
okay, well, that advantage really helped.
uh-huh.
I will carve 8 out of it with attack number 1.
Yes.
And then the left hand will come up in a nice uppercut. I think an 18 hits a basilisk.
It does.
Grappled basilisk.
I'll do another 6 to it. And then
Are you at disadvantage because you're blindfolded?
nope.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
He has blind fighting.
Yep.
So
Messed
the
up.
rest of you that have not seen Connie fight before, those of you with some, martial experience and have seen, hand to hand and melee fighting, you've even fought invisible things, and you know how hard it is to fight something that you cannot see. Connie seems to have willingly removed sight from the equation, and she has no apparent difficulty in doing so.
Nice.
So the question is, do I just want to hit it one more time or do I want to hit it 2 more times?
Hit me, baby. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I will.
Do you want to give the basilisk a turn, or do you not want to give the basilisk a turn?
Yeah, I will try. Yeah, I will use a key point for
Mhm.
2 unarmed strikes.
Some dope monk shit.
17 to hit.
Yes, it does.
So both of the axes land, and then I will, I don't know, I'll headbutt it in its stupid neck for 8 more points of damage.
Oh,
And then I will kick its chin out from under it, I hope. No, I will
No.
not. Oh, well.
Well, we at least-
you know that you have done some damage to this lizard that is writhing in Varuuk's grasp. But you don't quite kill it. And so on its turn, it is just, it's going to try and bite Varuuk.
Yeah, he is.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
nom.
I mean, he's right there, right? He's gonna try and lean in, and 19.
I guess that's okay.
You guess that's okay? Like thrashes around, leans in and takes a big old bite out of your arm, and
I wanted a souvenir.
yeah.
Scars are
So-
cool.
You feel the pain of the bite piercing your skin. You take 15 points of piercing damage, but the saliva of this thing it's toxic, and you can feel a venom kind of flowing into your bloodstream, and you take an additional 5 points of poison damage. You do not gain the poisoned condition. You don't have to make a con save. It's just a little extra. And then that's all he's going to do, because he's not really that scary to you guys.
We haven't really hurt him yet.
Huh?
well, oh, he's
We
almost
haven't
dead.
really hurt him yet.
Oh. You don't see the little green bar on the screen there above the basilisk?
Yeah, no. I was just saying that's why he's not as scared.
Yes. No, he's not scary to you, is what I'm trying to say. And that will complete his turn. Crosis. 5, 10, 11.
Right.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
I guess I can technically see him.
You're within 30 feet. You can see him.
All right.
The DC is a little lower thanks to the efforts of Dalen. And his
Seriously?
wow.
Down
That's so
that low.
unfortunate.
So
That was unfortunate.
Crosis, you look over, and the first thought that goes through your mind is some joke about hot lizard on lizard action. And that thought is repugnant to, well, basically the universe. And his
Uh,
eyes meet yours.
Well, slight retcon. The next thought is of Connie not hitting with the last fairy of blows. then whatever happens.
Oh, you want to pass the buck? Okay. If I hadn't wasted a 21 on a deck save for a web, I would have hit with all of that.
So you feel your body like lock up, and you're like you are effectively restrained.
Yeah,
And
that reptile on reptile action made you kind of stiff.
it did. Not only
Yeah.
that, it made him rock
Yeah.
hard. So you actually begin to see the color drain out of your fingers,
No, my beautiful red scales.
and your fingers have, they're not quite there yet, but you can feel yourself beginning to turn to stone. You are restrained,
Well,
which
let me look under the features and traits tabs for if I have anything fun to do about this.
well, it just means that your speed is 0. You can still do things.
Okay.
Um,
Well, if I can still do things, I'm
Disadvantage
restrained.
on attack rolls.
yeah.
But if you do something, if you cast a spell that requires a save, there's no difference. Restraint
Yeah.
doesn't do anything to you.
So okay, here's a meta question. So the idea of restrained is that I have disadvantage on attack rolls because I'm restrained and it is more difficult to do such things. So if I'm casting a spell with a somatic component, then yes, it would make sense. It's harder to perform the somatic components. However, if you subtle spell, which then removes the somatic components,
Yes.
is it therefore more difficult, or is it just,
Subtle
just
spell
fine?
removes the somatic and verbal.
Right?
Right,
So-
but restraint has nothing to do with components.
Yeah.
If you have to
restraint-
make an
Sure.
attack roll,
Yeah, it doesn't affect your ability to cast spells.
Sure. Rules is written. I agree with that.
Right.
It's-
But you know what? Narratively, if you feel like, if you are scared enough that you feel yourself turning to stone and you need to maybe not turn to stone, you can still use your magic. That's what I'm trying to say.
yes. Okay.
Probably not a 10-minute long ritual, but
Right.
right.
That makes sense. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead. Okay. Yes. Sorry. It's been a while since I played my character. I had to remember one thing. Cool.
Been a while.
Then I'm just going to blast this guy. But let
Blast
me
them.
make sure I'm blasting it with the right thing.
Right. Yeah, you should.
Okay. Well, who's in front of me? Oh, that's really unfortunate. I can't breathe fire because you're kind of right where I'd like to breathe fire. All right. Well, we're just gonna have to take disadvantage because I don't have much of a choice. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and it looks almost dead. So I'm going to subtle spell. Oh, I guess I don't even have to subtle spell. I can still use my magic. I'm just gonna firebolt it at
You're just gonna
disadvantage.
firebolt it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
11.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Womp womp.
It feels like maybe maybe it's your fear of becoming a statue. Maybe you're just not able to really quite concentrate, but your firebolt goes a little wide, and fortunately doesn't hit Dolph or Connie or Varuuk or anyone. So
No, that is good.
yep. So speaking of sound,
Golf.
Golf?
Oh, do I need to roll anything?
Help, I am turning to
Yeah,
stone.
you do. You need to make a constitution save. You
Well, fuck.
right, you're
You turn to liquid.
right. You've seen enough scary stuff. This is not a thing that bothers you. You look at it, you look up at Varuuk, he kind of nods and smiles, and you look back down at the lizard, and he's kind of like, fuck me. And yeah, so do your thing. You're free to act.
I am. Looks pretty dead, so I don't think I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna run up there and I'm going to attack with my great sword.
You should.
You do need a deck save for the web.
You do.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have advantage on that, I believe.
Okay. Well, you Dalen, what is your spell DC?
14, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
14.
Pretty
I
sure
rolled
17 will do it. That great sword, you managed to kind of wiggle your way through the web, and you get close enough. You brandish your great sword, and how do you want to do this?
I would like to just kind of go in and just chop through its head, like just chop off its head with the great sword, like just kind of do a spinning chop off.
And avoid Varuuk.
Right. You bring the blade down, and so good is your sword's personship that the blade cleanly flashes through lizard skin, and his head arcs up in a spray of lizard blood, and the thing collapses lifeless.
Nice.
This, sir, is an ex-lizard.
I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions on y'all's friends Dasan, but it seems mighty coincidental that right after he told us about this lizard, the lizard showed up.
I think that coincidence might be the GM wanting us to actually get off our asses, but it could be something sinister.
Well, I don't know what a DM is, and I would
Exactly.
prefer you do not slide into mine. But
Assuming Hassan is correct and we need a
Uh.
living creature, he probably does not want us dead or stoned to make the ritual.
Yeah, feel slightly
Yeah.
slightly heavier. Something
And he
is
did
happening.
warn you, there was a basilisk downstairs.
I mean,
I'm Crosis, I'm coming with what I can do.
So
I'm gonna-
speaking of, before
uh,
anything else, Crosis, I need you to make
Nope.
one more concept.
I get to go before him because if we were going by initiative order, I would have had a turn, and I'm gonna bless him.
I just want to meta this for a second. Like, he gets another save to resist its effects. I don't know if we really want to waste spell slots on this. He's probably going to make the save.
He probably is, but I don't mind blessing him.
Okay.
And what does bless do?
He gets a
+4
+4.
or plus D4?
Plus,
All right then.
D4.
All right, I'm gonna roll this D4 first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
That's good.
All
All right, so
That's
just don't roll a
good.
1 again, right? Because I got a +5 in my con bonus.
Don't fuck it up.
Because
Don't
I am
fuck it up.
proficient. Oh, seriously?
Holy
Oh my
shit!
god.
That's it, guys.
Oh my
So
god!
Sistin
This just
comes
is
forward
ridiculous.
and gives you a blessing, speaking divine words of peace and comfort, and you feel that blessing wash over you right before everything goes dark and your body turns to stone.
Yep.
That's very upsetting.
'Cause I don't have anything for that. I don't believe. Lesser restoration doesn't do it.
Mm-mm.
No, that's not an ability check. That's just a saving throw. So
That
that
is-
doesn't
Yeah,
count.
just to save.
Yeah, just making sure I don't have anything random like that.
You want to know what sucks?
'Cause now they have
Like
to
what
carry me
really
around.
sucks is the save is normally at 12. I dropped it to an 11 because of the obscuring. And all you had to do was not roll a 1.
That was all I had to do was
That's
not roll
all you
a
had
1.
to do.
Twice.
You had a 19 out of 20 chance to not be a rock star. And now
Or 2 out of 40.
The percentage chance of this happening is very, very tiny.
very, very low. Very, very low.
5%. This is what happens when you put your faith in the gods.
Dude, you know what's really unfortunate is that like Crosis told everyone, hey, don't look. And it's like he would have started his turn like not looking, but it's like, no, this is not how this works. So unlucky.
Do not look.
This is actually a very bad position for us to be in, homies, because I think you need like greater restoration
You
to
need
get out of
greater-
petrification.
Yeah.
Does
yeah.
anybody happen to have a potion of not being stone anymore?
I do not have such a potion.
This is why with my little knowledge of the basilisk, I was like, I'm going to bless him before he does his saving throw. That'll be okay.
And
Hey,
I'm
now.
proficient in con saves. Like I
Hey,
was very
now.
confident about this.
You're a rock star. Get your game on.
All right. Well,
game. Huh?
So-
Well, if somebody has
Does
I'm petrified
anyone-
now, right?
here,
Huh?
I'm petrified now. Is that what I am?
You are petrified. You are,
Okay.
in fact, an inanimate stone statue.
if
The
someone
great thing
has-
is, before we learn greater restoration, we will learn stone shape. So we can like, take care of that double chin and we can bring him back handsomer.
Or just saying, there are many things you could do with stone shape that many would consider unnatural.
Well, there's a possibility that whoever keeps a basilisk on hand has ways to undo what damage they can do. So maybe we just need to search the area and find it.
Yeah, that seems. You hear a voice from the statue. That seems like a good idea.
Right?
I'm going to ask our host if he knows.
Or, as a member of our D&D group, if there is a a shrine that turns inanimate objects into animate objects,
It turns
Illusory,
illusions into
illusory
animate
objects.
all right, well, someone needs to cast minor illusion of Crosis, and
I can do that. I can do that.
Minor illusion is a 5-foot cube. So you're going to be like a mini Crosis when you come
No,
back.
I make an illusion of him sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground.
He's just kind of leaning down.
yeah.
But he comes
Doing that.
back permanently hunchbacked. It's like, hey, this is not okay. Yeah.
Dazan, you knew of the basilisk. Do you know if the master, the dwellers here in this tower, had a way to undo these effects should things go awry or mischanced?
A kind of like for an illusory creature made of snow and shadow, he actually looks bewildered. And he thinks for a second. He says, I don't believe the basilisk has been alive in this spire for hundreds of years. Now, there's definitely more to this spire, further deeper in the ground. It's just, I haven't, we haven't been able to get to it. It's pretty blocked off. There's a lot of debris, and it's relatively destroyed. But I haven't seen any evidence of like basilisks nesting, nor what you would expect to find around the lair of a basilisk would be like would be like statues. He goes, this is I believe this thing just is basically found a way into the spire and kind of worked his way down. I don't believe he's a native to this spire.
Or I walk over to Crosis. Well, the master of this place seems to be some kind of like illusionist. How do we know that was even a real basilisk? And I take the flint out of my bag and attempt to light a spark with Crosis as the stone.
Make a nature check.
Oh, seriously? You're going to make me make it. How about survival?
He's
All right.
still a dragon.
No,
Look,
but you can-
fire.
You can do survival. Survival is much more appropriate.
18.
Yeah, you are pretty easily able to strike the flint against the Crosis and get a spark.
Well,
You were certain you could use Crosis to start a fire, just not in the way you're accustomed to.
unfortunately, he does seem to be actually stone.
I'm going to try to harvest up some probably basilisk blood, maybe the eyes.
Yeah, do what Tax would do, which would sample everything.
Well, I was
Well,
going to say, well, while Tax is not, physically with us, she can definitely spiritually be with us, and we all know what Tax would do.
I don't remember. So this is Don talking, not his character. I can't remember if it was a Xanth book, but for some reason I think
Lure of the Basilisk.
I thought basilisk blood would poured on a petrified creature would restore them, and so there's a fairy tale that Dalen read at some point in time. So he's going to try a little bit of that on Crosis.
Okay. Are you going to physically handle the basilisk blood, like with your bare fingers?
Well, I'm not going to be like rubbing it on him like I'm painting him or something, but I don't have a whole lot of other. Well, with Tax, I probably have plenty access to plenty tools to try to.
I was going to say, well, you should get a vial from Tax, and maybe not like directly handle the basilisk blood. You don't know
the guy's
for
been
sure.
holding on to it,
No,
biting it.
You do know that Varuuk, felt poison, so there is a poisonous aspect to this thing. Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah,
You do know there's a poisonous aspect to it.
well, I will vial up some basilisk blood. The first vial of it, I'm going to pour over our petrified friend, and then the second vial I will keep depending on what happens.
Okay. You very, very cautiously give me a medicine or arcana check.
I don't really like curses, so I'm going to go with medicine. Just kidding.
And I'm gonna cantrip guidance you.
Okay.
That's an ability check with
All right.
What's that give me? A 1d4?
Yeah, D4.
26.
So you approach the statue of Crosis, and you carefully, very carefully, so as not to touch it, unstopper the vial, and you pour the viscous, cooling basilisk blood onto a location on the statue, and it kind of drips on and slowly begins to ooze down the statue. And you wait a moment, and you wait a moment, and nothing happens.
All right.
And then with that Arcana check, which is very good, you are relatively certain this is a magical effect, and it will only be reversed by magical means.
Got it.
Stone to skin might do it. Now the question really becomes, how are you guys going to take him with you?
that is definitely a question.
You're gonna have to do the opposite of embiggen and put me in your pocket.
In Smallin?
Yep.
Or
I'd-
I'm just gonna put this out there. Mending can fix broken stone.
That's true. We could chop him up. Into
Here's
little
a
pieces.
question. As a petrified, individual, do I have any sort of like awareness? Like, if they break me into a million pieces and then mend me later, am I gonna need like therapy from that? Like what are we talking about here?
So
You're gonna need therapy, buddy.
the
no matter
petrified
what.
condition says a petrified creature is transformed along with any non-magical object it is wearing or carrying into a solid inanimate substance. Its
And-
weight increases by a factor of 10 and it ceases aging.
I am inanimate. I do not
You are
I have no consciousness.
where'd it go? Dang it.
Dude, I'm gonna wake up and I feel like I'm teleporting. It's gonna be amazing.
You're gonna fix
where?
up.
Incapacitated, restrained. There it is. You're incapacitated, you can't move or speak, and you are unaware of your surroundings. So I'm going to say you are not conscious.
All right, Jay. Here's your chance to get
I will
your
be right back.
on Robert's character for what his character did to yours in the past campaign.
I mean, if I were playing a character who was a jokey prankster type, which I am not, but I wish I was, because my background is guild crafter, which means I have a maker's mark chisel, and I would totally chisel my maker's mark into his ass. But I'm not playing that character, so
You lucked out, Robert.
So
well, so Dalen, is it? Is that right? I got your
Yes.
name. You say it's going to take magic to reverse this, right?
Yes.
And this Dasan character, he's magical.
Yes. That's
Does he
correct.
possibly know the magic to reverse this? Can we get a gander at his he said he had a book of spells, I think.
I don't know that our simulacrum here will let us see that before we have finished the deal. And then I'm going to
If he wants to be a real boy, he'll let us see it. We hold the cards here, Dalen. Let's play them. Ask him how long it's been since someone else came down here who might be able to help him. I think it's either going to be us or the next goddamn basilisk.
Connie, make an intimidation or persuasion check, your choice.
It doesn't matter. They're both horrible. All I'm doing is talking to Dalen.
Yeah, in the presence of the person you're talking about. He's like, I'm right here.
Yeah, 14.
So, hearing this, the simulacrum kind of, he's a simulacrum of a red wizard of Thay. He's not easily like spooked. And he says, I assure you there is no magic in the spell book that can reverse this. And so that we are clear, it is not Drazan's complete library. It is only sort of a temporary backup that he
Traveling spellbook.
So I think what you're implying to me is that somewhere in San's complete library, we might find something to reverse this. Do you want to tip your hand like that to me, boy?
I don't know that it's necessarily tipping his hand. He's not. It's like this. He doesn't have Dazan's full spell books. If anyone has Dazan's full spell books, it's the people in East Haven. If anyone has it, it would be them, since they are the ones that captured him, incarcerated him, and then executed him. So if anyone has his full books, they would be the best bet. Although you can imagine he being a member of the Arcane Brotherhood and also a former Red Wizard of Thay, he probably has a complete library somewhere not in Icewind Dale. Probably even access to spells that he doesn't have the ability to cast.
Yeah.
All right. So I will look at Dalen. Actually, I will not look at Dalen. I will address Dalen while looking at Dasan for any glimmer of recommendation. And I will say in Dwarvish, hey, Dalen, you getting this?
I'll answer in Dwarvish, yes.
Did it look like Dasan had any idea what I just said?
Oh, that's a fantastic question.
Insight?
Give me just one moment.
Okay.
First, you might have to know what languages Dazan speaks.
I don't think I have anything else.
I'll give you the inside check. You can tell he was watching the exchange, but not even a flicker of recognition crosses his features.
Excellent. So Dalen, here's the thing. This guy wants something from us, and up till now, we didn't need anything from him. But now we do. So now it's just a matter of negotiation, which, frankly, I ain't very good at. But if one of you is good at it, here's what we need to do is find out a way to get a promise out of this asshole that he will unstone our friend if we do his stupid mojo ritual.
Man,
Well,
and I had a +7 to persuasion.
The assumption is that they could. I mean, it's hard to make somebody promise to do something that they can't do.
Nope. You just make them promise that they will stick with us and aid us until we figure it out and help us figure it out. If it takes another goddamn 10 years, that's fine with me. He wants to be a real boy. Let him work for it.
And I, who can speak Dwarvish, kind of just nod to Dalen and talk to our friend who wants the spark of life and say, unfortunately, our friend is gravely imperiled with the basilisk stare. Can you think of any way we could undo this, or perhaps even after you have life, what could be done to restore him?
So he kind of thinks for a minute and he says, normally, I believe this sort of thing is handled with divine magic. The only magic that I am aware of available to an arcane spellcaster such as myself was of a level of magic even Dazan did not possess in life.
Then I'll say in Dwarvish, all right, then he ain't got no fucking cards.
And I'll say, can you, searching Dazan's memories and thinking of who he has encountered or where he has encountered people before, I'm sure he would note divine spellcaster of at a level to perhaps correct this. Is there any guidance you could give us on where that could be?
Aren't you? Well, I'll have a lot to get to.
I don't know that there is someone in Icewind Dale. I can tell you about my, I guess you could call them rivals in the Arcane Brotherhood that are here in Icewind Dale. One of them may possess the arcane knowledge to perform such a thing. Okay, mechanically, this is DM to players. The only arcane magic that might work in this case is Stone to Flesh. That is a 6th level spell slot. Zahn was a 9th level spellcaster. He did not have access to 6th level spells.
And there's also Wish.
Sure.
Anyway,
Absolutely there is. I mean, but that's, not something. If the simulacra had access to Wish, he wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I'll just wander down here, I guess, through the web if that's still up.
No,
And
no, the web will
whisper.
have dropped at this point.
I'll whisper to Varuuk and Giant. I'm surprised so many of y'all speak Dwarvish, but honestly, their accent is completely wrong. I don't know where they learned the language, but it's.
Look to
I
you.
mean,
What?
not that my giant accent is all that great, I admit, but
You do sound like country bumpkin.
sorry about that. Do any of them speak giant?
We had a friend who did. But no, nobody else speaks best language.
I feel you. Well, this is quite a fucking pickle we found ourselves in.
I think there's no choice but to move forward and see if maybe we can engage maybe somebody who has alchemical means to restore a friend. We know where he is. He's not going anywhere soon.
Yeah, I don't know how to win this game. Crosis is doing the I'm being still game, and he's beating everybody so far.
He is there. In the ultimate game of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, let's get in
Well-
the staring contest, Varuuk. Let's see who wins.
Well, if there's going to be an answer, the most likely place for an answer is going to be in the room that once contained the basilisk. So why don't we head down there
Yep.
and see what else is in there? And then I somersault down the hole. Woo!
Woo!
Into the nest of basilisks.
Yep. And
Make
you
7
land,
Constitution saves.
yeah,
And
right.
I'm
And you
into the
land.
I mean, my eyes are closed. I don't give a fuck about the con saves.
Right. You drop down into the hole. You fall 12 feet, which for you is barely an inconvenience.
Yeah, it's fine. I will throw you an acrobatics check just to see if I do it gracefully. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, you're fine. And
Do you not take falling damage?
No.
I mean,
certainly
I know
not
monks
certainly
don't,
not
but
for
it-
12 feet.
But I mean, I know monks don't, but if you just did a belly flop onto the ground, you would take falling damage, right? You have to be trying to do something to prevent, or do you just float down like a feather because you're a monk?
I think it takes my reaction,
So
but also I didn't belly flop. I somersaulted.
Okay.
Yeah.
you have blind fighting,
I do.
which allows you to fight effectively without vision.
It basically lets me see within 10 feet without actually seeing,
Okay.
is the mechanical explanation of
So, kind of glancing around in the room that you land in, you kind of, look around and move around. There's rusty forks and spoons and knives and broken plates. Also broken wooden chairs that are just kind of laying against the floor, which was the ceiling. And there is a table that is completely overturned. Its table legs jutting up into the air, and then one table that is on its side. You get the idea this was a room where meals were eaten?
Yeah.
And when you look back to the south through this doorway, there was a doorway there. It was a good doorway too, but it was shattered, and you are able to see into this hallway outside.
All right. Probably the best way for you, Joe, to simulate this in roll 20 is just give me 10-foot light.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I will call back up the hole. Looks like we found the dining room. If y'all jump down, you might want to be careful. There's a lot of detritus down on the floor here.
Effectively, night vision. You can see without light because it's not creating light.
That's true. That's true. I shouldn't broadcast to anyone else, but yeah, you might want to be careful jumping down here, but I'll help. I can catch you a little bit, except for maybe Varuuk.
Yeah, I hand one end of a rope to Varuuk and say, hold on to this, and then climb down.
Make sure you dodge the dingle hoppers.
There's no immediate danger though. Just, watch your foot. Does any of the cutlery or dinnerware, does anything look valuable? I mean, particularly valuable.
I mean, valuable in a utility sense, perhaps, if you say didn't have a, fork or a knife that was created in the age of, definitely not the age of Arcanum. I mean, you're no metalsmith, or say a doctor who practices metallurgy, but it looks to be sturdy metal, if nothing else. The plates are porcelain. They are finely made. They are also in many pieces.
Anything look like it was made by dwarves?
Make a perception check or investigation. Based on the size and the scale of things, you don't see anything in this room that is of particularly suited to dwarves or looks like it was made by dwarves of any kind.
Okay. Well, I mean, there is a difference between made by dwarves and made for dwarves.
Yeah.
But I was just curious.
Well, have I climbed down? I handed the rope to Varuuk, asked him to hold it, and then kind of slid down, popped down the hole.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should all reconvene. This is the basilisk door, correct?
Yes, it is. You do see the what was a wooden door to the south is splintered, and you do see, we'll say, basilisk-sized bite marks on the wood, and curiously from the stone, as though perhaps it was able to nibble on the stone.
How do we think? Well, I guess let me know when I can see down in the floor below.
Yeah, why don't we have anyone who wants to come down, and then start explorating.
All righty. Who wants a ride downtown? Anyone?
So I still want to, and Sandalphon said they will also come down.
Varuuk, Siston.
I'm holding on to the rope still.
Ah.
Assistant probably also will. I think she's checking on Miranda right now.
For the sake of the video, you can move my token for visibility.
I mean, you got to weigh like what, like 3,000 pounds at least at the moment.
No,
Well,
it's
it's by-
10
by-
times my weight, right?
Yeah, it's 10 times your weight.
I'm a ton or larger. I'm like,
Oh, it changes the
Well,
math.
a
Oh,
ton
yeah.
is 2,000 pounds. That's why I said 3,000 pounds.
oh yeah, well, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Varuuk, you are able
Oh.
to climb down if you wish.
Oh,
Everyone
they're
else
coming.
is-
They're coming with us.
Oh, absolutely. The this is the floor where the magic, turn to life room is. He's hopeful, if nothing else.
Hmm. Hmm.
Varuuk, you want me to move you downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You all find yourself in this refectory or dining hall, kind of small for a dining hall. There are only 2 tables, but Dalen, you've spent some time under arcane instruction. A room like this would not be out of place in any sort of, place where the arcane arts are taught.
Very good. I'm going to go ahead. After I got down first, I'm going to sit down over in a corner and I'm going to take 10 minutes. If I get interrupted, that's fine. But I'm going to cast Detect Magic as a ritual, so I can just start keeping eyes up.
Detect magic as a ritual.
No.
Okay.
Detect Magic as a ritual.
I'm going to move over here because I want
Detect.
both.
Right. So detect magic, right?
Yep.
I want both of these guys within 10 feet of me.
And what is the range on detect magic?
30 feet. A foot of stone will block it. An inch of common metal. A thin sheet of lead. 3 feet of wood or dirt.
Okay, 30 feet. I mean, you're easily able to complete the ritual. You detect effectively a room full of illusory and transmutative magic immediately to the west.
To the
Like-
west. Okay.
Right, through the, here.
Okay. If there's a door, I don't see it.
Well, there's a wall between you and it.
Got it. Okay.
I will search that wall for secret doors.
Give me a check.
Perception.
Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am.
26.
You do a thorough inspection of that wall, and you conclude it is, in fact, a sturdy wall.
Looks like we got to go around. So that's probably through the basilisk chamber.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of peer through this. I guess this is an open window or door here.
It is a door. It is a
Okay.
door that the wood is splintered and chewed away. There are basilisk-sized bite marks taken out of the wood.
Yeah.
And in the door frame around it, there are also basilisk-sized bites in the stone that have consumed.
How
Looks
do
like
we
it-
assume how do we assume this thing got into here? Did it come through the hole above us, or is this a fireplace or something? What is this over here in the top corner, or not corner, but northeast?
It's just a fire hearth, but
Okay.
remember the chimney is effectively pointing down into the earth. And it's blocked off, and like you're confident it didn't come up through there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this is when the simulacrum says, yes, the chamber is right down the hall. You come out, you go down this door, you take a right, and it is the door on the right. The basilisk was in the bedroom. This door was on the left in this hallway.
All right. Well, let's go see what happens.
Okay. I guess go ahead and you go out the. Where's this giant radius of light coming from?
It's my aura. It's what I can see.
Oh, detect magic. Also, Dalen, to your south,
Yeah.
you detect, what is it, evocation? The
Ooh.
kind of magic that that imbues invisibility.
Interesting. But this would be the door leading, presumably, to what you sensed first, right?
Correct.
That is, yeah.
All right. Do we have a rogue?
I think you're the one closest to the rogue. You're the one closest to a rogue.
All right, fine. I will check for traps.
Give me an investigation.
Checking for traps is supposed to be perception.
Okay, then perception. Whatever.
24.
I don't think you can check.
You give the door and the the closing mechanism and everything. There's nothing, no traps here. In fact, it doesn't even really look like it has been disturbed terribly, other than having been opened and closed recently.
All right. Does anyone have a does anyone have a light source anywhere near?
I do.
Well, again, each one of these rooms has,
Oh, they're all illuminated.
yeah, they're all illuminated.
Okay.
Connie. Is that how I say your name? Did I say it correctly?
That's fine, sugar.
I'm detecting magic to the south as well, and it is of a kind that potentially could be cloaking something. And in the hall of an illusionist, it could be just invisible. It could be made maybe to be look like something else. So just be aware.
Do you want to search that door first, or shall we go?
I don't like leaving things behind us.
Will you just tell me which of these doors you want me to kick in?
So this one, this is not a door. It is a shattered door frame, and the simulacrum once again reiterates that is the bedroom that the basilisk was holed up in.
Well, then that's where we want to go look.
Okay.
All right.
Can you go take a look?
Sure.
All right, I've got your back.
Okay. You wander into, what was, once was at one time a relatively well-appointed bedroom, bedchamber. The bed, though, is upside down on the floor. Its blankets, rotted from age, peeking out from under the disintegrating mattress. Mounted to the north wall is a tall, cracked mirror in a stone frame that merges seamlessly with the surrounding wall, as though it is the stone were shaped to make the holder for it. Lying underneath the dirt filled windows directly down here.
Yep.
Um, and these, well, nope, these windows right here. There's a skeleton lying on the ground. It's frost covered, and it is dressed in what looks like a tattered sleeping gown.
Anything? Well, you said something in this room was radiating magic. Do I get any more?
The magical source appears to be coming from right here.
I get Connie's attention, point to that area, and say, "I'm pinging something." 10
All
feet.
right. What he got my attention from, by the way, since I'm all into textiles, I am checking out the remains of the bed sheets and other bedding from this bed, and the nightgown worn by the skeleton, and trying to compare like relative socioeconomic status, basically. Like, is that the nightgown that would be worn? Is that the quality of nightgown that would be worn by someone sleeping in this quality of bed sheets?
Well, you kneel down and you kind of look at the bedclothes basically. And even though they are definitely in a very deteriorated state, they
Right.
do appear to be they have a high thread count. Egyptian cotton, maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah, you would not feel this is the type of bedding that would not be out of place in the bedchambers of someone of at least medium, if not high station.
Okay. And the
And
nightgown?
as you lean over and begin to investigate the nightgown, I need you to roll initiative.
God damn it. I'm
As-
sorry, Don. I was just investigating thread counts, I swear.
No, you're good. You're good.
As a glowing orb pops into existence by the skeleton, and well, it
Oh,
will attack you.
you need to clear the initiative order
I do.
first.
I do.
Mine updated. Have I seen one of these things before?
Huh? Oh yes. Yes, you have recently.
Okay,
In
that's
fact,
what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, you most certainly have. Okay, so the turn order has been adjusticated.
I did a 1, 20, and a 1.
Wow.
Not for initiative, it's fine. I want to keep the lower one.
So those of you not in the room, you do hear you will hear after this the people in the room act, you will hear the scuffle and you'll be able to roll initiative and come in after this. And so Connie, immediately as you begin to disturb it, this ball of light appears behind you. It is a bright light, and it kind of fills this room actually. And the first thing that happens is it makes a melee spell attack against you. Will a 21 hit?
Yeah.
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 All right. You from this little ball of light, this bolt of electricity arcs out, cracks, and the smell of ozone. Right. The smell of ozone kind of fills your nostrils as this electric bolt flashes and snaps against your skin, and you take 12 points of lightning damage. As
I think Dalen had something to say about that, though.
What's that?
I cast silvery barbs as this thing comes up to attack because I know what this thing is, and so now he gets to re-roll his attack, and hopefully he takes lower. Hopefully he rolls lower.
No, it actually rolled a 23.
Ah, damn it. Oh, well, I
Ouch.
tried.
Okay, but you still, whether or not
Yep.
it affects, you still get to throw advantage to someone.
Yep. You get your next advantage. Your next saving throw, attack roll, or ability check has advantage.
Excellent.
Dalen, you
Assuming I-
look at this orb, and you're curiously drawn to the fact that this orb is wearing an amulet.
What?
And you've heard rumors of the talisman of anti-silvery barbs, and your butt puckers knowing that at any moment you may have silvery barbs appearing in your butthole.
That's cool. I've always wanted an amulet of silvery barb, so I will be harvesting it from this thing shortly.
Right. Yeah, okay. No, it's not really there.
No.
You're like, no. Okay.
All right, so that was 12
Connie.
points of damage. You said?
That was 12 points of shockaroo.
Excellent.
And the rest of you hear the crack of lightning as the electricity is discharged. And if you want to go ahead and roll initiative, you will drop into initiative order after Connie and Dalen finish their turn. And Connie, it is up to you.
Well, this is not good because, yeah, well, I mean, what do? You've got 2 axes. You use them. And you are carrying a light source right next to me, aren't you, Dalen?
Yes.
Yeah, damn it.
Well, I mean, this thing that has attacked you is a light source.
Yeah.
The illumination from it varies from kind of a medium dim to a very bright, but is its illumination sort of shifts and undulates little waves of light.
Does a crit hit?
A crit does hit, yes. And it casts silvery bar. I'm kidding.
Then have it take 8 points of damage.
Mhm.
And I will like to spend a key point.
Before you do, is your axe magical?
No, it is not. I have no magical attacks.
It would be weird if it was, really.
Yeah, you didn't give me any magical weapons, or I totally would have taken one. But
Yeah, you're like 1 level away from being magic monk.
yeah, I know. Hey, what's it doing moving away from me?
It's me having to move it to get the thing up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would ask it to make a, what is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to make a Constitution saving throw.
You do?
I would very much like it to make a Constitution saving throw.
And what sort of thing are you doing?
I'm stunning that motherfucker.
Wow. Of all of the conditions this thing has immunity to, stunned is not one of them.
It's because people play monks.
But
Don't want to take away the monk fun.
It is immune to the paralyzed, prone, restrained conditions
That's
Does-
fine.
Does
I ain't trying to
stunned,
do any of that shit.
right? Does stunned use those effects, use those conditions, or is stunned it's only just a condition unto itself?
So
Stunned is a condition unto itself, but it may rely on others. So let's see.
All right. Well, you know
Uh,
what? I'm just gonna roll the old con save, which is gonna be an 8.
That fails. It is incapacitated. It cannot move and can speak only falteringly. Automatically fails strength and dex saving throws, and attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
I know what's done.
I loved Monkstone. I love Monkstone.
And it is that way till the end of my next turn.
Oh,
And I will remind you that was the first attack of this turn.
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Come on, let's go.
All right, so the second axe comes in with advantage because it is now stunned. 15 hit? Probably not.
15 does not hit.
Okay, that's fair.
Like you
I'm not gonna-
swing your axe at it and you feel, you're confident with your axes. This thing is kind of a wispy ball of light.
That's
You-
fair.
Yeah, you feel like it's going to be really hard to hit.
All right, I'm just going to use my bonus action for the single attack. I will not flurry of blows, no more key strikes or no more key points. But still Jesus Christ, I suck. Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. Super cool. Super cool. Neat.
But I will move over here so that other people can filter into the room and beat the shit out of it.
Right. And it would love to make an attack of opportunity.
I'm sure it would.
It would love to. It would dearly, dearly love to. But that's not how this goes. Dalen, you're up. And then everyone else go ahead and roll initiative, and then I will reset initiative order on the beginning of the next turn after Dalen goes.
Having engaged in these before, I am not
Mhm.
going to mess around. I just cast fireball in the room. No, I'm just kidding. I cast
Fuck!
I mean, you've got evasion, or is that not till level 6 too?
ooh, magic missile at third level. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 5 points of damage. That's 25 points of damage.
Well, you
Pew 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 pew.
right. You've seen these things before. You're familiar with what they do. They are kind of unpleasant, but you wave your hands. What I'm trying to say is, how do you want to do this?
Holding my hands out, casting the arcane words, feeling the 5 bolts fleeing from my 5 fingers, searing straight into it, watching it just fall into bulbs and blobs of ectoplasm, looking like so much slime on the ground.
Right. It doesn't even make a sound. It really is unaware of its impending doom. And then it is no more.
Oh no, it totally makes a sound. Varuuk hears from the other room, just like a bug zapper.
Right?
Is there anything to harvest from it?
No. It is a creature of mist, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you okay? I go over to Caniel. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm doing just fine, sugar. I still do want to look at that nightgown though.
I
Like
look
seriously.
at you and I look back at the nightgown and just kind of go okay.
So-
and then I step out and let people know that we're okay, but there was another one of those will-o'-the-wisp things.
Joe, basically just real quick, do I think that the person in this nightgown could conceivably be the original occupant of this bedchamber?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then
Yeah, without a doubt. You are probably unaware of the demise of Netherese flying cities,
Right.
you know, during the calamity. I mean, not during the calamity. But looking at the state of disarray and the fact that this tower is upside down, buried in the ground, you have a feeling this tower fell from a great height, and this person probably died in the impact and didn't even know they'd hit the ground.
Ooh.
That's
Brutal.
fair. All right. So yeah, let's check out this magical thing Dalen found.
Okie dokie. Well, so Dalen, you're able to, pretty quickly pinpoint the source of the magic. To your eyes, you see what looks like the outline magically glowing of a small chest. But you don't see it.
I would appreciate it if you do not comment upon my body.
It is not a judgment. It is relative size. This is not. I use the end of my staff and kind of tap where I think the outline of the chest is. Is there a physical object there that is just hidden under illusion?
There is indeed.
I once again, Connie, and I go tap, tap, tap on something, without it hitting the ground. I can possibly dispel the illusion on this thing, but I don't want to use up all my abilities.
Well, I will try taking a really close look at it.
I worry about if somebody's cast this kind of protection, I also worry it might be trapped.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
I point to the bits of ectoplasm on the ground.
It's
Or you
fine.
can find a stone.
It's
perhaps.
fine. It's fine.
You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, honey.
That is very true. Or at least
Okay,
not
so-
wasting one.
Right.
I will just do my perceptive best to figure out what the fuck is going on, and that was a shit roll.
Well, your perceptive best with, kind of Dalen poking at this thing that you cannot see with the butt of his staff. And weirdly, you're actually able to place your hands and feel something solid. You just can't see it. It is a chest. It is a small chest. But you can't see it. It is invisible.
Why don't
I
we
don't
just
care
take
that I
this?
can't see it. I literally give no shits that I can't see it.
Okay. So
Is it within 10 feet of me?
It is. It is.
So, hang on. I'm just curious. What do you have that lets you? Like, can you read a book in the dark?
Effectively,
Or is it invisible?
it's huh?
Effectively, I don't need my eyes to see within 10 feet of me.
Really? What is that?
Blind
That is-
sight.
That's blind fighting.
And it says you can see.
Yeah. I have
Wow.
blind sight for 10 feet.
Yep. Very handy in the land of the dark.
So, actually, I don't need to get into this right now. You and I can have a theological discussion later.
Think of it like Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil couldn't read a book. Can he read a book?
No, I probably
No.
can't. I would not be comfortable with being allowed to read a book. But the contours of a chest that I'm holding in my hands,
Yeah.
I nailed
No,
that shit.
Yeah,
there with you.
and not only that, but the resolution of your blind sight is enough for you to make out the fact that it does indeed have a built-in lock
Oh,
in the
very good.
front center of it.
Well, it's
All right.
locked, and I'm not one to bypass locks except by brute force. Do you want me to punch the fuck out of it?
not right now. Let's just, if you can
Okay.
feel it and that you're okay, let's just pick it up and maybe put it in one of the packs. How big is this? Is it bigger than a bread box? Is it like a jewelry chest? What are we talking about?
It is bigger than a bread box.
All right.
It weighs, you try to lift it. I mean, it comes free easily. The only protection really was its invisibility. It appears to be weighs about probably 25 pounds.
Okay.
What is it made out of?
It is made out of a veneered wood, as near as you can tell. Blind sight doesn't give you color.
That's true. I don't want color.
From the texture, it is a polished, lacquered, veneered wood of high quality.
Well, it's just wood. I have axes.
I know, that's what I was exactly thinking. I just want to damage anything inside. We can take our time.
Don, make
Do any of
a wisdom save or an insight check.
Saving throws. Boop. 22.
So you look around the room a little bit. You realize that this is probably a wizard's spire from one of the Nethery's flying cities whose entire society was based around mastering the arcane arts.
Yep.
And there's across the hallway, there's a place where other people eat, which probably is students or other mages. This, looking around, and even Connie can verify that this was a person of high status. And the only people who got to be of high status in Nethery's culture were wizards of some power.
Yep.
And you know that the quality of that chest suggests that it may actually be airtight, which means if there's a book in there or two, it probably doesn't contain used underwear. Some effort was made to conceal it. And it is, in fact, in the bedchamber of what is more than likely the owner of the spire.
Oh, yeah. No, believe me, I'm Don and Dalen are totally clocking in on what is likely in that. And that's why I kind of want to be a little extra careful.
Right. While Dalen probably doesn't have any idea of what can happen to something hundreds of years old made of degradable paper that suddenly gets exposed to air. Just saying.
Yep.
Just saying.
I feel around the chest. Does it have a keyhole?
It does. Yeah, it has a built-in lock, and it definitely does indeed have a keyhole.
Sugar, you might want to look around for a key. Maybe on the corpse of yon wizard there.
If I remember correctly, who was in the upside down laboratory? It may have been you. It may have been.
Yeah,
Tax.
I was.
Professor Plum with
there.
the candlestick.
No,
Right.
I was there with Tax. And
Right.
did we find a key there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I want to be very careful about what I'm saying here, Joe.
Mhm.
I will attempt to insert the key into the lock.
It slides right in, like it was made
All right.
for it.
Hey,
I'm
Dalen,
watching you. Yeah, my eyes are wide. I'm watching you insert this into nothing. And I'm assuming as it goes into there, the part that goes in is now also invisible, or do I still see the key?
You still see the key.
Ooh.
It's only the chest itself that is invisible. It is
Okay,
not like a
okay.
magical, it's not like an invisibility field.
Yeah. That's what I was asking. Yes, Connie.
It is kind of
Alright,
weird. Like you hear the metal of the little brass key sliding into the keyhole. And you still see the key just kind of like effectively just hanging in midair.
All right, Dalen. We've got the key to this chest. It's sitting here. I promise you, it is a chest. It is larger than a bread box. I have the key that opens it. That key slid right into the lock. Any reason I shouldn't open it? And actually, I will percept the fuck out of this if I can to see if there's any reason I shouldn't open this. God damn, 16. But I also want to hear Dalen's thoughts anyway, regardless of my perception check.
As you perceive Dalen's almost panicked expression that you may open this chest that may in fact contain arcane artifacts from a bygone era, you think, maybe I should do this in the middle of in non-controlled environment.
I mean, that is why I only saw if it fit and didn't actually turn it, and then asked my wizard.
So
Okay.
I'm obviously concerned, but I don't know where in this godforsaken hellhole of a icescape that I would feel safe opening it up than in here. I mean, this is the most controlled environment I've been in weeks. I don't think
this might be, not to put too fine a point on it, you're a very intelligent person. And you have devoted your life to the study of arcane things. This is potentially a relic of great value. This is something you feel like your master should probably be informed about, and who probably might have a way to do something better with it other than just open it in a room.
Well,
while it's still invisible.
Yeah, we might. I don't know that we need to open it just yet, but let me ponder this a bit. I don't have a good way to get into my master.
All right. Well, how heavy is the chest?
25 pounds.
That's more than I want to carry around. So I pull the key back out of the lock. I recommend that I hold on to the key, or if you want to, you can. I don't really care. But I figure that tall feller y'all are with, Varuuk, the one who speaks giant like a good boy should, he seems strong enough to carry this box around. I don't think the same person should carry the box as the key, though.
I think that's an astute observation, and I agree.
So I'll hold on to the key if you like, or you can hold on to it or give it to one of the others. But I think Varuuk is the best person to haul around the box.
Let's give the key to Siston. If they need to make themselves scarce quickly, they can do it easier than a lot of us can.
That's fair, if that is your assessment. Siston, where are you?
I don't think I should be getting anything.
So while you guys were, busy plundering, the simulacrum and his white bodyguard have opened the door to the runic chamber and have gone in and are kind of eagerly, hopefully, awaiting your arrival. And I've gone ahead and removed all the walls because there's no sense in it.
Okay,
That's
cool.
fair. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to say this in character. I think it's time to go kick these people's asses. But
yeah. So stepping into the room across, where I see Dazan, Simulacrum, and Krintus.
Yes, his white bodyguard.
Yep. Is there any other? So while I've still got detect magic up, is there anything else that's
This entire room radiates magic.
okay?
The walls of
do-
this chamber, so the walls of this chamber are inscribed with a web and tapestry of interconnected runes and sigils that kind of curl around this room and wrap around to the dome of the ceiling, or what was the ceiling? It's the floor.
It's fair.
So the only thing, the walls of this chamber, these runes, and all of this beautiful arcane writing and language and symbols and circles and swirls of power, there are some cracks in the wall. What is now the ceiling, of course, which was the floor, bears similar inscriptions that swirl inward, converging around a golden crystal disc, approximately 5 feet in diameter. Right there. There is a strong aura of transmutation magic. And as soon as a living thing walks into the room, this figure pops into being in the far
Can I just say
corner.
one thing real quick, Joe?
Yes.
Because I want to be very clear about it. I still have the key on my person. I have left the chest over here where I found it.
Okie dokie.
I'm not bringing both of those in here.
Indeed. So right here, this figure pops into being, and immediately, Dalen, your detect magic detects illusory magic, and
What is the nature?
Standing on the ceiling, and it appears to be the same long-faced human wizard that was depicted in the statues at the entrance of the spire. It begins speaking in a strange, possibly forgotten language.
I do not speak Netherese, but I will let it finish its spiel.
Well, as it speaks, the simulacrum begins to mutter a translation. Behold, my masterpiece. Here can illusions be made real, shadows become substance. Create your illusion. Let it stand atop the crystal disc and watch my chamber do its work.
Crosis is very sad he's not here. To turn shadows into the real things.
So, Dalen, give me an Arcana check.
$13.
So you kind of look around and look at the runes, kind of consider what you read earlier, what the simulacrum has told you, and you are pretty confident that this indeed is a room that can take things made of illusion and make them real. You know it has some limitations. It won't be able to create magic items or, animated objects like golems, constructs, or undead. It can, if a living being is touching the illusory object, it can give the illusory creature a physical form. And curiously, you notice, looking at where some of the cracks have broken some of the runes and some of the connecting lines and swirls and loops of arcane tapestry, this could fail. Like this room is not in factory new condition.
Yeah.
And there is a chance that going through with some sort of transformation could fail.
Maybe. I mean, I know I could, but Dazan, and I point to the cracks. Do you, with your memories as they exist, believe that this room is still functioning correctly? And I point to the obscured and corrupted glyphs and sigils and whatnot.
Yes, it is possible, but this is also the only path I have. If it fails and I die, ultimately I have lost nothing. For I am not truly alive as it is.
Sounds like you're walking down the only road you've ever known.
Yes.
Like a drifter, you were born to walk alone.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means to walk along the lonely street of dreams?
I do. And as well as the Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
Oh shit, we just jumped 20 years in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually I think about 15, but yeah.
So
You woke up
At
about
this-
2.5 weeks ago?
at this moment, the simulacrum moves and stands under the crystal disc. And it looks at you, Dalen, with all of the earnestness and pleading that an illusory creature can muster.
All right. Don has a
Says-
question for Joe. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And he says, please, lend me your hand. And as he steps under the disc begins to give off a soft golden light.
You're gonna have to forgive me because it's been a while since we played. What was the bargain that we were making if we were to make him a human boy?
He was going to tell you what he knew of his arcane brotherhood rivals, and he was going to give you let you make a copy of, the kind of backup to the backup spell book that he managed to retain when Dazan left the Spire, to go get burned alive.
Yeah, if
Can
the spell book's in the box already got that, if that's what it is. But the other thing is,
No, he didn't go in there with you.
yeah,
You're pretty sure he didn't know about that one.
all right.
That one is not Dazan's.
All right, Joe. If let's say I'm like, Dalen's all in on this. He's ready to touch it. This guy becomes human, and he goes, "Here's the book. Make a copy." I don't have materials to make a copy.
That's
Hey, you
fair.
do? Yeah, paper.
While
You have
while
ink.
Dalen and the simulacrum are having this conversation, I want to just slink up the wall to here, pull
Uh-huh.
out both my axes, close my eyes, and wait.
Okay.
I would propose that we also ask for his word that we have protection to leave and that he will not act against us in any way.
He says, I mean you no ill will. I will not harm you. I will not interfere with your exit. I will do nothing that would bring you harm. This I swear.
So Joe, unless it's different in your game, it's quite expensive to write spells into a spell book. And I do not have the materials to do it.
Huh. Well, perhaps you could meet him somewhere if he lives.
Maybe.
Or maybe you could just take the arcane relic from another time as, fair compensance.
Fair. I just want to make sure that my understanding is accurate. Hell, why not? I'm gonna walk over. How do I reach? Do I just stand under the disc? Is that enough?
You don't even have to stand under it. You just need to reach out and touch him.
All right. Holding my staff in my left hand, I hold out my bare right hand.
You should cast invisibility before you do it.
I don't
So
think
you
I can.
seem to have an invisible touch.
No, Mike. Where?
Womp womp.
Sorry.
That sound you hear is the plotting of your death. That squeal is what my brain sounds like
I'm
when it's like,
beginning to
yep,
think-
they're gonna
I'm
die.
beginning to think that Jay has a little bit of a problem.
Mm.
No, he's a genius. We just don't recognize it at this point.
I don't.
I mean,
I
are
don't
you-
recognize it.
Alrighty.
are you not filling my puns because they are calling out to
Oh,
you?
it's there.
Oh.
Okay, did y'all get it through your groaning? Did you get the full impact? Of
Oh,
that?
I did.
I asked if you were filling my puns because they are calling out to
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Oh yes, we are there.
I mean, when you started, I was like, the genesis of the idea was really getting to me, and then it kind of
Right. But
Okay,
but
okay.
beyond
I
that
have a
pun
feeling-
was so bad it would make a lamb lay down on Broadway.
I have a feeling that this conversation is petering out.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
the
I
beat
can
hearing out.
definitely feel
You
it in the
keep
air.
drumming the same beat.
Oh my god!
Oh my
In
lord.
fact,
Right now.
I feel as though I am gazing upon Salisbury Plain.
Uh,
Mm.
I actually have a question about kind of what's going on in the room. What is the temperature in here? Is it cold? Is there no jacket required?
Oh god.
I mean, it's, fetch me the shocky stick.
uh,
All right, that was good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Although I am
done.
saddened, at the lack of response from the Lamb Lays Down on Broadway.
Oh no, that was a great one. That was excellent. I was trying to figure out how to do a good Alamo pun because he's a Alamo aficionado.
Well,
Oh, the Alamo. I remember. Don't worry.
All right, cool.
these puns are like robbery, assault, and battery.
Oh man.
Yeah, I love old Genesis. Before they became Phil Collins's fucking backup band.
But
All right.
seriously,
Anyway,
both sides.
seriously, it is the same temperature as the rest of the place, which is cold.
All right. I reach out my hand. I hold it out to him.
He takes your hand. The glow begins to ramp up.
Fists tighten on axes. I get
Roll
into
a
a
D100.
stance.
All right. I cast a spell magic on him. No, I'm just kidding. 32.
As it
Wow.
ramps up, The simulacrum looks at you, and there is a brief look of terror
Uh-oh.
as the golden light flashes this purple bruised color. You hear the sound of most unnatural. And Zazen's simulacrum is transformed into a hostile blob of corrosive, magical ectoplasm.
Yeah, it's like the opening scene on Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Transporter accident.
Yeah.
Clear the turn order. Fuck.
I mean, at least this is easier to reconcile than something like Tuvix or something, you know? We didn't get to like merge people in the transporter accident.
And it
Yikes.
collapsed down onto
Oh.
what was
Fuck my
the-
ass.
Yep. What was the ceiling, the hissing, corrosive, the floor, even the stone begins to hiss as the acidic nature of this thing begins to corrode even the stonework. I need everyone to roll that initiative.
Looks like you've lost Carlisle and Allie in the Zoom.
Allie's here. Allie's here.
Oh, Allie's in. Okay, that makes sense. Then we've just lost Chris. We must have scared him away with the puns.
There was an insanely long section of Genesis / Phil Collins / Peter
Someone needs to
David
go back and
puns.
make a highlight reel of just that moment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
So-
it really makes me wish that instead of axes, I had gone with sledge hammers.
Yeah.
Call of a Maxwell.
So I wonder if I created a minor illusion of like a wall, if I could make it reality.
Okay, is that everybody?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, since we're missing Chris now.
All righty. I don't know what happened.
And our friendly neighborhood Dragonborn is stone.
No, yeah, that's right. We're out down a dragonborn.
You can cheer on your team though.
Silently.
Oh, dude, no, we are absolutely jamming out to "We Will Rock You."
Ooh, ooh, very good, Dalen.
Are
Behold,
you ready to rock?
the corrosive blob of magical energy before you, hissing, pulsing with an unholy animation.
Someone should have checked the pattern buffer and seen that there was a gelatinous cube being stored
Right.
Yeah.
before we
That
activated the
button.
transporter.
I'm going to step to here and then cast. I mean, this is the you're having us roll initiative, so there's a reason for me to think I'm in combat, right? This guy's
Oh,
not
you
really
are
done-
absolutely like you
Okay.
absolutely. You heard the scream, and I mean, maybe you're not so keen on reading the intentions of magical blobs of corrosive hostile. Did I mention hostile ectoplasm?
Yeah.
But you're fairly certain this thing is going to attempt to fuck you and everyone else up.
Well, I'm going to cast a 30-foot cone of Rhymes binding ice on it. It's a Constitution saving throw of 14.
And what is it?
Carlisle
It's
has returned.
awesome. It is awesome, is what it is.
You should sort
Okay.
the turn order.
Yep. Sort the turn order.
Yeah. Rhymes binding ice. If he fails his save, he takes 38 points of damage and is hindered by ice formations for 1 minute.
And that's
So
an
yeah.
AoE. You should be able to angle that to hit this dude and not.
Yes, yeah. Doing my best to avoid you. I'm trying to get all of these guys just coded
So
in.
what causes this damage?
A
30
cone.
of cold energy. Not ice, but cold energy.
Okay. Um.
I rolled a 1, an 8, and a 7.
So the cold energy, which would be causing it damage, appears to have no effect.
Of course. On either of them?
You were casting it on the white as well?
Yeah, it's AoE. It'll hit both of them.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Does cold work on undead things?
Some of them, not all of them.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Yes.
Damage resistances, necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical. Nope, cold will fuck this thing up. So yeah, go for it.
Well, have him roll a con save. If it's below 14, he has no movement, and he takes 16 points of damage.
Okay. Well, now you're gonna, attack my white boy. So okay. Okay. Well, I guess he's in it to win it too now. He will he'll slip in here at the beginning of next turn order. Con save, you say? Constitution, the save that is of the con variety rolls a 17. What does that do for him?
He passes, so I don't think I think he still takes the damage.
Well, roll that damage.
It's 16 points.
I think he takes half damage.
So he'll take 8.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah, 8 points.
He just kind of looks at you. He looks at this cold shit, and he goes, "What the fuck, man?"
Well,
Because I was finally free of this fuckhead, and I can leave.
Well, sorry, I'm going to step out. I know I might incur a attack of opportunity, but I'm going to step out of the room.
Oh, it absolutely is going to. So this thing, a corrosive pseudopod reaches out to strike you. Strike. Let's go. But it rolled a 9, so I'm pretty
He
sure
misses.
that doesn't it? Yeah. That's kind of sad. All right. Thank you,
Guys.
right. All right, Connie, you're up. Siston, you're on deck. Varuuk's after that, and then the goo. You guys are
All
gonna
right.
be gooed.
All
When
right.
you're done, you'll be goo goo dolls.
All right. So Connie will lift both axes over her head, and that's an axe for each of them. Yeah. Let's just roll. So against the white,
Mm-hmm.
a 12.
He just kind of moves out of the way, kind of slowly, and he's like, "Really, you too?"
Yeah, that wasn't my best. Do I have inspiration for any reason?
You have de-inspiration for your parade of puns, but no, you don't have inspiration.
All right, then
You had an
against the-
opportunity to get inspiration if you'd have recognized fucking Nemo.
Okay, well, against the blob, I assume a 20 will hit.
Oh, the 20 will absolutely hit.
Then that motherfucker will take 7 points of damage, and I will spend a key point to stunning strike that bitch.
Okie dokie. You do that.
That is a con save, please.
Okay. So are your axes made of metal or wood?
Metal and wood, yeah.
Okay. Well, you cram that axe into it, and you do. Wait. So you notice that the axe, after slashing into it, the goo on the inside of this thing sticks to the blade of the axe or to the head of the axe, and you see the hiss as this corrosive matter begins to eat away at the head of your axe, and you will have a -1 penalty to damage rolls. And
Fair.
yep. And you, when you hit it, are splashed when you carve into it with a hand axe. This the sound of escaping pressure, this corrosive goo splashes up your arm, and you take 8 points of acid damage.
Well, fuck this guy. I do not
And
like
then
this
it
guy.
has to make a con save
Yep.
and rolls a 19.
Yeah, that'll make it.
Yeah. It's hard to stun
That's fair.
a bowl of goo.
So I will bonus action. Shit, this is my last key point, but I can't be here. Yeah, I will bonus action Step of the Wind, and I'm gonna go hide over here. Fuck all of this shit.
Fair. Okay, Siston, you.
Oh, all right. I'm thinking that I need to probably step up.
I mean,
Good.
you, I don't know that I'd call it dire.
Yeah,
but
Assistant, if you step into the hallway, I say this. It might not be best to engage. It might be best to try to keep it at bay and us get out of here.
Sounds good. Then I will do, I'll peek in, cast Toll of the Dead, and leave.
Avon calling. Bing bong.
I'm leaving. It's like, if anything ever needed to be unmade, it was that.
so Toll the Dead is a wisdom save, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, this thing is probably not super wise, and rolls a dose.
Awesome.
So it
Take that
takes
damage.
13 points of necrotic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably not good
Damage.
damage against it.
Huh.
How does it?
You know, again, you're no corrosive blob of magical ectoplasm scientist, but you're pretty confident necrotic energy hurts it.
Okay.
Yeah?
Cool,
You're
cool,
like,
okay,
"Oh,
so it
that's
did
not
more
so
than just
bad.
rebel.
You're like, all right, that's pretty cool. I've done some damage.
Excellent.
Okay, is that
Well,
your turn?
that's where I kind of ducked
That's,
with my
that's where you're
movement,
at, huh?
where I could be.
All righty. Varuuk.
Chris Carlisle.
Calling.
Sort of recovered from the psychic damage from earlier.
Oh yeah, that was truly an onslaught.
Also, I'm not liking these tiny rooms. I feel a little bit of attacked, Joe.
I'm sorry, man.
I mean, I will cry out in giant as I'm running away. Don't hit it with your weapons. It'll fuck them up.
He's not wrong.
But you know.
Better than
Okay,
hitting it with your
Varuuk,
fists.
You come barreling down the hallway, a mass of muscle and power and action, and you skid through the doorway, and you are immediately confronted with the sight of a most unnatural, writhing blob of hissing, steaming goo. And it's big. It is one size larger. I mean, it's as big as you would be.
So as the wheels are turning in Varuuk's head, he listens to what the blind monk has just told him. But it does not hitting something, but doesn't. So I hit him with my weapon.
Of course.
You do
I
what
mean,
now?
you know, Varuuk gonna Varuuk. That's
Yeah.
fair.
I don't believe you. I'm going to hit it anyway.
Well,
Right.
It's not even that. It's that you just can't not hit something with your weapon.
True. So this is piercing damage, correct?
Yes.
So you raise your war pick up and you slam it down. Just the point of the pick easily penetrating into the body of this massive goo. And and you know, you heard it, maybe not as much as you think you did, but as the pick slides in through into the mass of this thing, there is a hiss and a spray of this material squirts up onto your chest,
Gross.
and you take 4 points of acid damage, and you lay into it again.
Yep.
And you do notice as you pull your pick out of the body of it, that goo is stuck to the point of the pick, trails up, leaving a trail of corrosive hissing smoke. And you drive the pick down into it, and you are one with your pick normally. You know your pick has been damaged, and it is not going to do as much damage as it should. And again, the pick penetrates. Oh, I want to stop saying that. And more acid sprays upon you, giving you a total of 3 points of acid damage.
Shit, fuck.
I scream, Varuuk, get out of there. Don't stay in.
Again, does not compute.
No.
It's already used its reaction to attack the wizard.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
I can't attack with weapon, attack with hug or grapple.
Oh shit.
No, I think, hey, you know
Don't
something?
give Varuuk any ideas.
You could throw the statue of Crosis at it and give it something to eat while you guys escape.
All right. Well, I mean,
That's true. That's very true. Who can lift the 3,000-ish pound Crosis statue?
at least I've got
Varuuk,
that
do you,
going for me.
So I use
You,
both.
do you stay present? You hanging out?
Yes. So I'm gonna action surge and I'm gonna punch him twice.
Well,
Oh, nice.
in Varuuk, I have area of effect spells, but you need to be out of the way when I cast them.
What? Punch.
All right.
Yeah. No, this is what would happen.
Once
All
it's
right,
lit up,
give it to me.
This is true to character.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, give me some damage.
All right, 1 second. I guess here, I'll just roll this because the hit will be the same.
I mean, it's hard to miss, really.
Yeah,
So yes, you do indeed hit it with your fist of fury.
I guess I'll do 7 points of damage.
Well,
D4.
you do indeed do some damage. And you, in touching it, you once again are coming in as your flesh comes in contact with it. More of that acidy, corrosive goo gets on your flesh, searing it for another 1 point of acid damage.
This fucking sucks. I took like 8 points of acid.
I know.
damage.
I was like, oh, dude,
Goodness.
get out of there. And then Varuuk's like, come on.
It's 7 and 8 points of damage.
7 and 8 points of damage. All right.
All right, that's it.
Yeah. You gonna scamper out now?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
Nope.
Huh? All right. Well, somebody roll me a d6.
Got it.
Well, good for you. The pooting, well, not really a pooting. The pseudopod reaches out and strikes the white and it just crashes into it and does a lot of damage to it. And the armor that he is wearing begins to corrode and rust and disintegrate. You can tell that armor is not giving him nearly as much protection as it was.
Yeah.
And it moves
With a
this way,
enemy.
and it actually squeezes through the door into the hallway.
Of course it does.
And that's its turn. Xenophon, you're up.
Fine. So fun. I'm going to move to here and I'm going to rage because hopefully it'll get me something cool. Let's roll. Well, it's difficult terrain.
For my enemies, not for your friends.
Yeah, but within 15 feet of me.
I mean,
Gotta love
despite all your rage, still just a rat in a cage.
Still just a rat in a cage.
Is there?
You find yourself frail and bedazzled.
Could I pick up something and chuck it at it? improvised.
Yeah,
weapons.
there's a quite a bit of rubble here in the in the whole place. So yeah.
Cool. I'd like to do that.
Smack it with System.
No, not system. So, improvised weapon.
You're a different kind of barbarian, I see.
Mhm. Where is improvised weapon? Because I'm not.
Just 1d4.
But it's strength.
Oh,
It's strength, and unless you're a tavern brawler, you're not proficient. So it's just D20 plus your strength.
I crit.
That'll do it.
nice.
So it's 2d4 plus your strength modifier damage.
And then do I also get to add rage?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're raging.
I mean,
So plus an extra 2. So plus 4.
so give me a total.
That would be 11 points of damage.
Okay. Well, that is that's pretty good.
And then I will attack again with another
So-
piece of rubble. Sorry?
So the thing is, you hit it with the rock, but okay. You see when the rock kind of slams into it, it is kind of consumed by this creature, but it does not spew acid onto System.
Nice. I will attack again with another bit of rubble for probably a miss with 8.
You know, you would think that a crap roll like an 8 might not hit, but this thing is a huge, slow-moving blob of goo.
Q? That's not right. Roll. Seven points of damage.
Nice.
And then I'm gonna be like, Distant, get out of there, and I'm gonna back up a bit.
All righty. Well, as you guys do this, the Crintus, the white former bodyguard, looks at this situation, kind of shakes his head. He goes, fuck it, I'm dead already. And he moves up closer, and he's going to attempt to he pulls his longsword, makes his attack there. He does hit it. And he hits it with a longsword, and it actually looks like the longsword just passes through the form without doing any actual damage. But he is sprayed with the acids. And he takes some smoking damage from that. And then he attempts to drain the life from it. And gets a critical hit. It does a little bit of damage. And most con save. And its maximum hit points are reduced by a number, which, against other things might be kind of awful, but against this thing, he checks his inventory of fucks and finds he has none. Dalen, you're up. Connie, you're on deck.
I'm going to throw a firebolt at this thing. Actually, yeah. I want to test something. Wow.
All right. Well, that's actually a thing that it is not immune or resistant to. So that's kind of cool. Your firebolt lances into it, and you haven't heard anything resembling an emotion, but it does burn away part of this corrosive mass.
I shout, get back away from it. Fire damage it. Get back away. And I'm going to risk another opportunity attack and move further into this room.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's had its turn. It's definitely gonna kind of reach out and touch you with some sweet pseudopod loving. Does a 19 hit?
No. I'm going to cast shield and make my armor class a 20.
Okay, then.
And I'm going to move to the far end of the room and tell Connie, back into the corner, back to the corner. If this thing comes in here, I'm going to fill this room. And that's my turn.
All righty. Connie, you're up. Assistant, you're on deck.
All right.
I need to go get Momsen.
I'm gonna move. Whoops, shit. I'm gonna move to here. And I'm going to throw 2 darts at it.
You're going to throw 2 darts at it.
Yep.
Piercing damage, huh?
The first one is 19 for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
And the second dart misses.
Okay. The second dart kind of just falls wide. And the first one that does hit it is consumed by the body of this thing.
That's fine. Fuck that dart.
Yep, it doesn't appear to have harmed it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I don't think it's immune to non-magical damage. It might be resistant.
Okay, how much damage did you do? Okay, cool.
5. I didn't do a shit ton. But
Okay.
I can jump 10 feet. I've moved 10. I will then move here. Shit, I can't grab my character. And then I will jump over this motherfucker who's already used his attack of opportunity this round, so fuck him. To here.
Meta game.
So that was 10, 15, 30, and then I'll move back here for my last 40.
This is the thing I made like.
Yeah, so I'll just hide in this corner. Now, if this dude wants to take an attack of opportunity against me, he can.
He doesn't.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did we see it now?
There might be there.
There's ice cream. I'm excited.
I want ice cream.
I know, right?
What are you talking about?
I would say come over, but it's a little bit
I'm
far.
sorry, baby. I'm looking for my.
I mean, it takes me like 40 fucking minutes to get there.
Ouch.
It's like me going from Georgetown to here.
I mean, actually, at this time of day, probably half an hour, but
Yeah.
it's still a long haul.
You probably have a store that has ice cream that might be a little closer. But Harper's not at that store.
Oh, that's true. No, there's an Amy's like half a mile from here, so.
It might be closed.
At this time, yeah, you're probably right. But I think it's time for System to destroy this thing so we can go home.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah. Again, I'm gonna call on my goddess to unweave this thing that should have never been made and cast Toll of the Dead on it.
Hold the dead.
Oh, the dead!
Nice.
So how's that 11 look? Is that going to fail?
The 11's gonna fail.
The 11's going to fail?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the necrotic energy as the bell tolls, the form of this thing begins to unravel, but it is barely staying corporeal.
Maybe just using the fire.
Right. Well, I'm gonna move and try to get away from it. 'Cause
Cowards!
I'm and back away. I have distance spells. I'm good.
All
This got
right,
the distance.
right.
Exactly.
Varuuk, you are right there.
Wherever it goes, whatever it does, you will be right there waiting for it.
No matter where you go, there you are.
And keep hitting with the wood.
That hits it.
apparently.
Varuuk.
Oh, God.
Varuuk,
Yeah, I failed it. I failed it.
how do you want to do this?
Oh, sweet.
Whoa, all right.
So as I'm just whacking away and all this stuff is happening, and I notice that the point on the war pick is damaged, and I'm like, man, that's fucked up. So I switch the weapon around and then just smash him.
You do.
Splash.
You do.
And to me, as he explodes, I think that's what did it.
Right. Well, you do take 1 whole point of acid damage, and I need you, the white, and Sandalphon to make dexterity saves for me, please.
No.
Oh, damn. Yeah, Sandalphon got an 18 because she has advantage. They have
Yep.
advantage on deck saves.
So I'm noticing that Sandalphon is in a different place on my screen than she is on the shared screen.
That's the same for me.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah, we see her right here.
Or
I
them.
actually
Or
see her
them.
1 square further away. I see her 15 feet away, not 10
Yeah.
feet away.
So should I
So-
refresh?
As you bring the hammer down on this thing, and it does spray the little bit of acid on you, but then it explodes in a spray of corrosive goo, and the white is just covered in it and consumed immediately, because he failed his deck save. Varuuk, you take 17 points of acid damage, and Sandalphon, you take
Fuck.
8 points of corrosive damage.
What was the range for the explosion?
10 feet.
Were you there or were you here?
I'm in front of the door in mine.
Oh, you were? Okay. Sandalphon also had Sandalphon in front of the door, so all good.
I wanted to be within range so that it would have.
Yep.
Okay. You look around. The threat appears to be gone, and The goo is still warm, but it has lost its cohesion and is no longer corroding everything in its vicinity.
I make sure to pick up the chest.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah,
It's invisible, and I'm the one who put it down.
I can see magic items.
Yeah,
Okay.
he can for another few minutes.
Yeah.
It's also 25 pounds. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
going to be a problem for you.
It would be a problem for me to take it for a long period of time, but I can pick it up and get it to someone who can carry it.
Right.
Well, is this the sort of thing y'all deal with all the time? Because I didn't see a single goddamn frost druid among this batch. And they, frankly, I do not appreciate the amount of my tail that they whooped.
That was not actually in our normal realm of interaction. I'm actually very happy that this turned out as well as it did, because that could have gone very bad very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, if you stick around me long enough, you'll come in contact with a frost druid.
That is correct.
Well, I mean, that's fair. I want to kill a frost druid. And this was not a frost druid. I don't know what I don't know what incarnation this was, but it was not a frost druid.
Our nation. Dag nabbit.
Anyway, you got that box? I see you're carrying that box.
Yeah.
What are you holding up? Do you need help with it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
If somebody with like this is not my forte.
No, it is not.
In fact,
All
at this point, with that thing dead and that, I don't know. If we could put this somewhere. Oh, Siston, I think Varuuk is injured. He might need your assistance.
I was going to
And
ask
the
if anybody needed healing.
Pretty all right.
I'm still standing, but I do need that.
Crosis needs greater restoration.
I'm gonna be a few levels, buddy.
Yeah, you're kind of hosed
I'll be waiting.
right now, dude. I want to go look around the area where the undead dude fell. Is there anything salvageable in the vicinity of his remains?
Not really. No, I mean, he was an undead creature, and he did have a longsword and armor, but they have just been covered in this acid. It was already kind of corroded away, and it is, just kind of like he took the full force of the explosion, and really he's pretty dissolved.
Are we willing to take 2 minutes for a prayer of healing?
That's daily.
I mean, I think we might as well take a short rest.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's.
I'm going to sit down here and look through my book and just, meditate upon the teachings with them.
Varuuk,
Alrighty, you guys
Galen,
gonna take a short rest?
Yeah.
So
Okey-dokey.
Joe,
Yes.
one of the first games of D&D I ever played, an ongoing campaign, we started at 0th level, and the black pudding is one of the first things we fought, and so we had to run from it. And I was the only person whose original character was still alive by the time we stopped playing that game. And
Wow.
one of the things I did was when we found the kitchens, I was like, I want to find all the baking soda I can. And I made basic weapons.
Yeah.
So your character embarked upon a lifelong journey of learning alchemy. I need some strong bases.
Laura, who all does that? Oh, sorry, Siston, who all does that heal?
Anybody who was injured, really.
Is it
It's
15
up
points?
to 6 creatures.
Okay.
I burned 2 hit die on healing myself.
But
and
you
I
got
need to
you got
I need
50.
to look at prayer of healing.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Oh.
it doesn't say willing. It doesn't matter whether I'm willing or not. I get the healing.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm full.
Did you not want it?
Yeah, now that will be an interesting conversation for another time.
Yeah.
Well, you have an idea of what happened? There was no touch.
I mean, I'm trying to play this rules as written. Up to 6 creatures of your choice that you can see within range regain the hit points. It does not say anything about willing recipients.
No, I agree. But like, if you were doing stuff to try to heal yourself, would you know if somebody assisted that?
Possibly. I guess that would be a DM call, honestly.
Well, I'm not making a secret of doing it. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure people are in the same place. I asked people if they had time for a prayer of healing. And so if there was something that Connie wanted to say, all of that happened, there would be a chance for.
Well, if you told me beforehand that you were doing a prayer to your God for healing, I would have moved out of the way.
Okay.
So how much you did? 15?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. How much did I heal myself?
During the short rest, if it finishes, I do arcane recovery to recover some spell slots.
I haven't healed myself yet. So let's do that. No, I did. Okay. So yeah, I'm not at full, but I'm better than I was. Also, I get all my key points back.
Yeah. It is
By the
almost
way-
11. Oh, go
Yay,
ahead.
key points.
You want to know the most, I mean, it's subtle. A lot of people probably don't notice it because they're not playing the specific kind of blind fighting monk that I am. But in case you want to know some more stupid monk bullshit, deflect missiles does not in any way say that you have to see the attack coming.
Nope. That's why it's stupid and awesome.
If you get hit with a ranged attack, you just stop it
I mean,
or decrease it.
I've seen plenty of movies where like monks do crazy shit with deflecting arrow stuff. So that's
Monks are ridiculous. And you didn't even cast darkness, Crosis. That was my entire plan, was for you to cast darkness so I could just roam around and kick the shit out of stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna cast darkness on an object and you can take it around with you.
Right, cast it on one of my axes, but no, you just got petrified.
Yeah. My original thought was like maybe cast it on myself and the basilisk can't see me. But I didn't get that far.
Oh well, you know, it's fun. Life goes on.
Joe, I don't want to kick off too much, but I do want to know if the door here is damaged or openable where I'm pinging on the thing.
So that door, yep. That door, it is the door itself is openable, but you kind of pull it open. You have to kind of pull it. It's pretty jammed, but it is it looks like it's a circular chamber, but it is completely choked with stone and broken stone and
Gotcha.
rubble.
Just collapsed in an area that's collapsed of the tower. Okay.
Correct.
So, Jalen, is there any idea where he kept the spell book that he was going to give you access
You know
to?
what I'm wondering? If it was a lie, if it was the truth. We do have, and I just tapped something that's not there. It's like to examine, but I don't know that this is in his on his, I was gonna say radar, but that hasn't been invented yet. On his game board. I figure we keep looking around after the rest.
Well, he mentioned he didn't get down to this level much. Obviously, he knew this was here, but
The only
would
other thing I
imagine-
also, yeah, go ahead.
my impression it would be that it would be either this level or the one above.
Joe,
Well,
when we were in the room where we found the invisible chest and that mirror is kind of like built into the wall, did it ping his magic?
No, it did not.
Okay, just a neat decoration.
Yeah.
well,
I mean, when you find a basilisk, you almost
Yeah.
always find a mirror.
That's right. That's what I was going to ask. Was that a thing to potentially be able to use? Got it. Okay.
Yeah, but you guys and you're fucking around.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? That's we
We're
found
finding
out.
out.
Yeah.
So, all right, you have successfully short rested, regained your, wits and recharged some of your abilities, and maybe retuned a battery or something. What are you gonna do?
Kaniel, don't forget I believe you wanted to take some of the material in that other room. Now that we have a rest, you could take a sample if you wanted.
I didn't want to take any of it necessarily. I just wanted to see if the skeleton appeared to be the skeleton of someone who actually would have slept in such a chamber. And I
Got it.
believe I've ascertained that to my satisfaction.
And Joe, I don't think we actually said it, even though we were searching the room. But we would have searched the skeleton after the fight with the will-o-wisp. Was there any jewelry on it? Any other things it was carrying?
The skeleton in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was just a skeleton.
Got
I
it.
mean,
it had the ring of power.
you know that the adventuring party that Drazen originally hired to find this place took a sacking run through it. So, if it wasn't nailed down or, invisible.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I will, speaking of invisible shit, because I am a perceptive bitch, I will roam around this room looking for, secret doors, piles of gold, whatever. I don't give a shit.
Sure.
Anything interesting.
All right. Give me a little perception action.
17.
Maybe that. No. No. Oh no, this is just wet with that goo that probably was left over from the goo monster. Yeah, you don't find anything.
That's fair.
Yeah, and in fact, looking through this whole level, you don't really see a point of further ingress downward.
Okay.
Do I see a weak point in the ceiling/floor though? Like, could we make that point of ingress? Especially considering that we have a Varuuk.
True. Well, I'm going to say you can certainly try.
I mean, I just look around at this map and it looks very cracked, and like if we tried just a little bit, we could probably break on through to the other
To the
side.
other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you make a Doors reference, a lightning bolt from God strikes you dead.
That's fair because I actually hate the
Fuck the
Doors, by
Doors.
the way.
They are
I absolutely hate
they are
them.
the worst pieces of fucking garbage that anybody, and they're like, oh, we even touched it. No, he wasn't. He was a fucking
mean-
drug-addled moron, and his music was garbage.
I mean, they
But how do
are.
you feel about it, Joe?
They are
He was a
point-
drug-addled moron, and his music was garbage. He didn't
They
have
are
a drummer.
point-
That's how you know.
They are 0.01% better than the Eagles. That's the best I will say.
Ooh, no, I got to disagree
didn't-
there.
They did not write Hotel California.
Well,
That's,
you know, the best thing about the Eagles is that Seven Bridges Road was a good song for a DJ to go take a dump to.
do not talk to me about Seven Bridges Road because motherfucker, Steve Young wrote that song and it's a great song. And then
to trigger J.
the Eagles get all the credit because they're like, oh my God, they did the vocal like harmonies. No, you know who did the vocal harmonies for that song? Ian Matthews and Michael goddamn Nesmith. That's right.
You know,
The
for
a-
Eagles
you know,
stole.
For
The
a
Eagles
song that you hate
stole.
so much, you know a lot about it.
No, I don't hate that song. I hate their cover of that song.
Gotcha.
The Eagles stole the vocal melodies or harmonies from a monkey.
He was a goddamn genius.
Who was?
Michael
Michael
Nesmith.
Yeah,
Michael Nesmith is amazing. And he wrote all those vocal harmonies that people love about Seven Bridges Road. Those
Right.
were Michael Nesmith arrangements.
Don didn't believe me,
So
but I love Michael Nesmith.
What am I doing
Also-
hanging around?
I think you guys should figure out a exit plan for this spire.
I assume
The
we'll get to a
spire.
level where we find the engine controls and the rocket will take off.
You can look for that, and you can roll with triple advantage and add 200 to the roll. And unfortunately, you're not going to find anything. I mean, you think maybe somewhere there was a building, but you're also pretty sure that somebody polymorphed in there and murdered the pilot.
I mean, that's such a sad use of murder because honestly, murder is usually a great one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
we are going to look for the spell book and try to locate the puddings, the living quarters.
The what?
The living quarters of Mr.
The
Pudding.
living quarters of the former Snow and
Simulacrum?
Uh-huh. Since he wasn't
He was-
living, but where would
he
he
was-
keep a book?
He was a non-living illusory creature of snow and shadow. He didn't sleep.
Well,
You're pretty sure that where you found him is where he's been.
then where is the book?
I don't know.
That's the question. Has anyone opened up any invisible chests lately?
Nope.
We think
No,
that's an older book.
We have an invisible chest. I think we've given it to Varuuk. I have the key to that invisible chest. But we
Galen
want to.
And
We want to get it
Sistan, make wisdom saves for me.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh. But is there like I don't know, is Liamon's tiny hut hermetically sealed? Like, is that a good place to open the chest?
All right, Sistan.
You know what?
There we
Trying to
go.
protect from.
Dalen, you think about it for a minute. Would a wizard leave a spell book, even an emergency backup traveling like pocket-sized spell book, laying around anywhere? Probably not. Probably be on his person. And then, let's see, what happened to his person? Oh, right.
Womp womp.
I guess you will have to solve. You'll have to wipe the balm of potential arcane relic of wondrous power. You know, you have to rub that on that wound.
But that's for next time.
All right,
Because
let's
it's 11:06.
tower. Let's go.
Yeah.
Question: what are you guys gonna do? So canonically,
Yep.
Crosis, how much do you weigh?
Over 200, under 300.
So we'll say your statue weighs approximately 1 to 1.5 tons. Because it increases your weight by 10 times.
Yeah.
So unless you guys have some sort of I mean, you guys are creative.
You can make it smaller and then shove it in the bag of holding.
It will still weigh 2,000 pounds.
But it might be easier to carry.
Does Tax have any artificer BS thing that she could do to?
She
pick up
might.
something?
She might, and if we need to do a retcon about it, then we certainly can.
All right.
How much
I'm-
weight can her constructs hold?
I think between like a single and large spell and Varuuk's bullshit rune magic, Varuuk can probably pull the statue out of this tower. And then it's just a matter of dragging it, which sucks, but is not quite as restrictive.
Or alternatively, hear me out. This tower is a building that survived a fall from a great height, crashed into and slammed into the earth, and was not destroyed. I'm thinking it might be safer than dragging it around. You know where it is. You know there's exactly one way into this place. You could probably collapse the tunnel if you just wanted to. And ultimately, even if it is a hyper-realistic statue of a dragonborn sorcerer, how many people are going to try and steal that?
Yep.
I mean,
They have the same problem.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, oh man, this is really fucking cool. Cool. All right, let's
You're
go.
just gonna come back and you see graffiti on me.
Yeah, and it's gonna be permanent,
But
like
we're
tattoos.
actually gonna leave you with graffiti on you. I'm sorry to say, it's just that's gonna happen.
It's just
stare at
gonna say,
dragon or he
birds,
will eat
please
you."
don't shit on.
I wonder if there's any tattoos Crosis would want.
All right.
All right.
I think
All
we're
right.
yeah.
Okay. Are you going all the way to the tippy top?
why don't we chill here right now so that before next game session, we can decide what to do with Crosis. Let's not make a snap judgment on that.
Nothing's
Let's
written
say,
down.
let's say we end the session all standing around the Crosis statue going, huh, the fuck are we going to do? And we'll pick up there next time.
That sounds pretty good. Alternatively,
Don't give me alternatives.
oh, I'm gonna give you an alternative because it's
Please.
fun and it makes me happy.
But The whole point is to like cut this off at a decision-making point and then make the decision next time.
I'm with you. However, a flag has been tripped and an event must take place.
Oh,
So you
So
can
speak
either
at the DM.
you can either have this event trigger down here in this room where you're all standing around looking at a statue of Crosis, or you can go to the top level and have it there. Ultimately, doesn't really matter.
is it going to happen tonight?
It is going to happen tonight, and it will be
I-
very
I-
brief, and it will set up next week.
I am only as a player, as a character. Connie doesn't give a shit. She barely knows any of you motherfuckers. As a player, I don't want to advance without Crosis if we can instead hang around Crosis and see what happens.
Fair enough. I need all of you to make perception checks.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm the only one who chimed in. It's not fair to go off
No,
my
no.
say.
I don't disagree.
Anyone else? Do we want to advance up or do we just want to stick with Crosis?
Oh my god.
Oof.
Oh look,
Have-
I didn't fail that one. Or at
Get
least
better than-
crit fail, even though it doesn't count because I can't see.
I critted.
You did it. Siston, you hear faintly, and you are the only one that hears
I think Connie might have heard.
something. No, Connie does not.
Oh.
You are the only one that hears the faint sounds of movement in the tower above.
Ruh-roh.
And I do our secret special sign for silence, which everybody pays attention to. Varuuk.
Right?
And,
What's happening?
and I kind of make the sign to listen and see if we can hear any more. But I'll do this. So it's all quiet.
Okay.
I would
Give
definitely-
me some more of that sweet perception checks.
I like this. The DM says, "Hey, you're in some place that no one's gonna find and tamper with, so you can leave your
Yeah.
buddy there." Also, there's footsteps above you.
Right.
Well,
So
I mean, I
Axe-
gave you the
Axe-
opportunity to leave.
I know.
Axes out 23 perception check.
Do what?
I said axes out 23 perception check.
Damaged axes.
Okay.
One damaged axe.
So, Siston, you've already, your ears have already perked up to this. And Connie, now that you've been made aware that there's something to listen to, you hear the sound of motion, and then from the hole in the ceiling where you guys made your entrance onto this level, a female figure drops down. Most of you recognize her as Finra, and you see drop in after her other cloaked and other armored figures. And she looks at you and she cocks one hand on her hip. She says, "So, Lamplighters, where's my brother?" And that's where we'll end.
Ah!
Do they look like frost druids to me?
Oh no.
Yeah, they do.
Axe.
Yeah, they do.
Rage boner.
Yeah. She doesn't. She doesn't look like a druid of any kind. And in fact, She's woefully underdressed for what should be terminally cold weather.
Yeah, that's fair.
She's Zorro.
And so that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Yay.
All righty.
We will pick this up next week.